The pregnancy test didn't just read empty, it read impossible. Madame Ashford waved the hospital report like a final verdict, and before McKenna could breathe, her suitcase was already at the door. Rain slammed the windows as the whole Ashford family watched her crumble, and the man she called her husband stayed silent, eyes cold. Then headlights slashed through the storm. A stranger stepped out of a black car, umbrella tilted, whispering her name with the certainty of someone who had been searching for her in the shadows. And as he held out his hand, one question cut through the thunder. How did he know the exact moment she'd be thrown away? The door slammed open. McKenna looked up from the hallway floor, her hands still wet from scrubbing the marble. Victoria Ashford stood at the top of the stairs, her face twisted in something cold, something final. McKenna. Front foyer. Now. Her voice wasn't loud. It didn't need to be. The entire house heard it. McKenna's heart dropped. She stood slowly, wiping her hands on her apron. Her legs felt weak. She knew that tone. It was the same tone Victoria Ashford used when she fired the gardener last month, when she sent the cook away without severance. McKenna walked down the hall. Every step echoed. The house was too quiet, too still. When she reached the foyer, the whole family was waiting. Tristan Ashford stood near the window. His mother stood in the center, holding a piece of paper. His father sat in the armchair, arms crossed. His sister leaned against the wall, smirking. No one looked at her with warmth. Victoria Ashford lifted the paper. The hospital confirmed it. McKenna's throat tightened. Confirmed what? You are barren. The words hit her like a fist to the chest. She couldn't breathe. The room tilted. I didn't know, she whispered. You deceived us. Victoria Ashford's voice was sharp. A maid with nothing to offer, and not even a womb that works. McKenna's eyes burned. She looked at Tristan Ashford, her husband, the man who promised to protect her. He turned his face away. Pack your things, Victoria Ashford said. Leave before the hour ends. McKenna's knees buckled. Where am I supposed to go? Victoria Ashford smiled. It wasn't kind. Anywhere far from here. Two guards stepped forward. One grabbed her suitcase from the closet. The other gripped her arm. Wait, McKenna tried to pull away. Please, I can explain. There's nothing to explain, Victoria Ashford said. You're useless to this family. The guards dragged her to the front door. Rain pounded against the windows. Thunder rolled across the sky. They opened the door. Cold wind slapped her face. Please, McKenna whispered. Tristan Ashford. He didn't move, didn't speak, didn't even look at her. The guards shoved her out into the rain. Her suitcase hit the stone steps first. Then she did. Pain shot through her knees. Her palms scraped against the wet stone. Rain soaked through her clothes in seconds. Behind her, the mansion door slammed shut. McKenna sat there, trembling. Water dripped from her hair. Her chest heaved with silent sobs. She had nowhere to go. No family. No money. No future. The rain was so loud she almost didn't hear it. The low purr of an engine. Headlights cut through the storm. A black car rolled to a stop in front of the gate. McKenna lifted her head. Her vision blurred with rain and tears. The driver's door opened. A man stepped out. Tall. Dark suit. He didn't flinch at the storm. He walked straight toward her, pulling an umbrella from inside his coat. He stopped at the bottom of the steps. And he looked at her like he'd been searching for her his whole life. McKenna, he said softly. Her breath caught. How does he know my name? She stared at him, shaking. Who are you? He didn't answer right away. He just extended his hand. Someone who's been looking for you, he said. For a very long time. Lightning cracked across the sky. McKenna's heart pounded, and she realized something terrifying. This stranger knew her name, but she had never seen him before in her life. Hi viewers, kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. Warm welcome to the family. Enjoy the story. McKenna didn't take his hand. She just stared at him, rain dripping from her chin, her whole body trembling. You didn't answer my question. Who are you? The man knelt down slowly. His knees hit the wet stone, but he didn't seem to care. He held the umbrella over her head, letting the rain soak his shoulders instead. My name is Dominic Cross, he said quietly. And I've been looking for you for a very long time. Her breath shook. Why? I don't know you. His eyes softened. They weren't cold like the Huang's. They weren't cruel. They looked hurt, like he'd carried something heavy for years. You don't remember me, he said, but I remember you. McKenna's chest tightened. Nothing made sense. This stranger, this car, this kindness. I don't understand, she whispered. Cross reached out slowly, his hand hovering near her face. Then, gently, he brushed a raindrop from her cheek with his thumb. The touch was so soft it made her want to cry. You shouldn't be here, he said. Not like this. Not thrown out like you're nothing. Her throat burned. That's what I am. Nothing. No, his voice was firm. You're not. McKenna shook her head, tears mixing with rain. You don't know me. You don't know what I've done, what I couldn't do. I know enough, Cross said. I know you deserve better than what they gave you. She wanted to believe him, but belief felt dangerous. Every time she trusted someone, they hurt her. Why do you care? She asked, voice breaking. You're a stranger. Cross's jaw tightened. For a moment, he looked like he wanted to say something. Something big. But he held it back. Because, he said carefully, I've been searching for you for years. And now that I found you, I'm not letting you disappear again. McKenna's heart pounded. Searching for me? Why? Before he could answer, a light flickered on in the mansion behind her. A window on the second floor. Someone was watching. Cross noticed it too. His expression changed, hardened. McKenna, listen to me. His voice dropped lower, urgent. You need to come with me, right now. What? No. If you stay here another hour, he interrupted, they'll have you deported tonight. Her blood went cold. Deported? She whispered. For what? Cross's eyes locked on hers. Your husband's family filed a termination and immigration complaint 2 days ago. They didn't just want you gone. They wanted you erased. The world tilted. She couldn't breathe. That's not possible, she stammered. I haven't done anything wrong. It doesn't matter, Cross said. They have money, influence, lawyers, and they already decided you're a problem. McKenna felt her chest collapse. Years of loyalty, years of cleaning their floors, cooking their meals, swallowing their insults, and this was how they repaid her. Why would they do that? She whispered. Cross's expression darkened. Because you became inconvenient. Lightning cracked overhead. The rain poured harder. McKenna looked back at the mansion. The lights were still on. The family was probably inside, warm and dry, laughing about how easily they got rid of her. Her hands curled into fists. Cross stood and extended his hand again. Get in the car. I won't let them erase you. She stared at his hand, at the kindness in his eyes, at the stranger who somehow knew her name. She had two choices: stay here and let them destroy her, or trust the man who appeared out of nowhere. Slowly, she reached out. The moment their palms touched, Cross exhaled, like something inside him finally settled. He helped her to her feet, grabbed her suitcase, guided her toward the car. The door opened. Warmth spilled out. McKenna slid inside. The door closed with a soft click, shutting out the storm. Shutting out the mansion. Shutting out everything that had hurt her. For the first time in hours, she could breathe. but her mind raced. Cross climbed into the driver's seat. He started the engine. The car pulled away from the gates, from the Ashford estate, from the life that threw her away. McKenna stared at him in the dim light. "You still haven't answered," she said quietly. "Why were you looking for me?" Cross's hands tightened on the steering wheel. His jaw clenched. He didn't look at her when he spoke. "Because you once saw something," he said slowly. "Something that ruined my entire life." McKenna froze. I don't remember anything like that." Cross nodded once. His voice dropped to a whisper. "That's because your mind buried it." He finally turned to look at her. His eyes were filled with pain. "The night my father was killed." "Killed?" The word came out broken. McKenna's hands gripped the edge of the seat. Cross didn't answer right away. He just stared ahead, jaw tight, knuckles white on the steering wheel. The car moved. Through the rain-soaked streets, city lights blurred past the windows like ghosts. "Your father was murdered?" McKenna whispered. Cross nodded slowly. "Yes," her stomach twisted. "And you think I saw it?" "I don't think," he said quietly. "I know." McKenna shook her head. Her mind felt like it was drowning. "I don't remember anything like that. I would remember something that horrible." "You were a child," Cross said. "The mind protects itself. It buries things that are too painful to carry." She pressed her fingers against her temple. A dull ache pulsed behind her eyes. "How do you even know I was there?" she asked. Cross's voice softened. "You were found outside a warehouse, unconscious, crying. The officers asked you what happened, and you said a man with a scar on his hand hurt someone." McKenna's breath caught. A scar. She didn't know why, but the word made her chest tighten. "I don't remember that," she whispered. "Your statement was buried," Cross said. "The investigators said a maid's daughter couldn't be trusted, that you were too young, too traumatized, that your memory wasn't reliable." Her throat burned. "So they just ignored me?" "They didn't just ignore you," Cross said. "Someone made sure your testimony disappeared." The rain hammered against the windshield. Thunder rolled low and angry. McKenna stared down at her trembling hands. "Why would someone do that?" "Because you were a witness," Cross said, "and witnesses are dangerous." She felt cold all over. "If I was dangerous, why didn't they just—" She couldn't finish the sentence. Cross glanced at her. His expression was hard, protective. "Because you vanished. After your mother died, you disappeared. No one knew where you went. I've been searching for you ever since." McKenna's heart pounded. "Why? Why search for me?" Cross's jaw clenched. "Because my father whispered something before he died." She waited. Her chest felt tight. "He said your mother's name," Cross continued, and then he tried to say one more thing. "What?" McKenna whispered. Cross looked at her. His eyes were filled with pain she didn't understand. He said, "Protect the girl." McKenna's breath shuddered. Tears burned her eyes. "He meant me?" Cross nodded. "He must have seen you there. Even if only for a moment, he knew you were in danger." Her hands shook. "But I didn't protect anyone. I was just a scared little girl. I couldn't even save myself." Cross's voice softened. "You tried. And that matters more than you know." Something inside her cracked. Years of shame, of believing she was worthless, of being told she had nothing to offer. And here was a man who said she mattered. The car slowed. They turned into a quiet riverside district. Streetlights painted gold across the wet pavement. McKenna wiped her eyes. "If your father wanted me protected, why didn't the police help me?" Cross's expression darkened. "Because the man who killed my father still has power, influence, and he made sure no one would believe you." Her stomach dropped. "He's still alive?" Cross didn't answer. but his silence said everything. Makana felt panic rising in her chest. If he's alive, and he knows I was there. He thought you were silenced, Cross said quickly. For years, no one knew where you were. But this morning, someone leaked your name. Her blood went cold. Leaked it? To who? To someone who knows my family history, Cross said. Someone who wanted me to know you were still breathing. Makina's hands gripped the seat. Why would they do that? Cross's eyes met hers. To see if I would come for you. Her heart hammered. And you did. Yes, he said, because I won't let them hurt you again. The warmth in his voice made her chest ache. She wanted to trust him. But trust felt like stepping off a cliff. Sometimes kindness feels scarier than cruelty. Because cruelty you expect. But kindness? That's the thing that breaks you when it's taken away. The car stopped in front of a tall building. Glass and steel reached into the stormy sky. Cross turned off the engine. This is my building. You'll be safe here. Makina stared up at it. Safe from what? Cross's expression turned grim. From the man who killed my father. She swallowed hard. You really think he'll come after me? Cross didn't hesitate. I know he will. Her pulse raced. How do you know? Cross looked at her. His voice dropped low. Because someone followed us. Makina's breath stopped. Followed us? She whispered. From the mansion? Cross nodded. A black sedan. Stayed 2 cars behind from the Huang gate to the freeway. Fear crawled up her spine. Are they still following us? Cross checked the rearview mirror. His jaw tightened. They were. Until we turned into the garage. Makina's hands trembled. Who are they? Cross's voice turned cold. The people who want to make sure you never remember what you saw. Makina's hands went numb. They followed us? Her voice barely came out. All the way here? Cross nodded. His eyes stayed locked on the rearview mirror. They're professionals. They know how to keep distance without being obvious. She felt her chest tighten. What do they want? To see where you go, Cross said. To see if you're with me. Her breath shook. Why does that matter? Cross finally looked at her. Because if you're with me, it means you're remembering. And if you're remembering, you're dangerous. The word hit her like ice. Dangerous. She'd been called useless her whole life. Worthless. A burden. But never dangerous. I don't remember anything, she whispered. I don't know what they think I saw. Cross's voice softened. Your mind buried it to protect you. But memories don't stay buried forever. Makina pressed her fingers against her temple. A dull pressure pulsed behind her eyes. It had been there since the mansion, since the rain, since Cross said his father's name. What if I never remember? She asked quietly. Then I'll still protect you, Cross said. But Makina, you need to understand something. She looked at him. The man who killed my father didn't just take him from me, Cross said. He destroyed everything. My family's reputation. Our company. My mother's will to live. And he did it because my father knew something he shouldn't have. Makina's throat tightened. What did he know? Cross hesitated. I don't know yet. But you were there. You heard something. Saw something. And that's why your testimony was buried. She shook her head. I was just a child. Why would anyone listen to me? Because children tell the truth, Cross said. They don't lie to protect powerful people. That's exactly why someone made sure no one heard you. Makina's chest ached. So they just erased me? Yes, Cross said quietly. And when your mother died, you disappeared completely. No one could find you. Not the police. Not the investigators. Not me. Her eyes burned. I didn't disappear. I was sent to an orphanage. Then I aged out. Then I worked. Then I married Tristan Ashford because I thought someone finally wanted me. Her voice cracked on the last word. Cross's expression softened with something close to pain. You deserved better than what they gave you. McKenna looked away. I don't even know what better looks like. The car was silent except for the rain drumming on the roof. Then something shifted inside her head. A flicker. A shadow. A voice. McKenna? Cross's voice cut through the fog. Are you okay? She blinked. Her vision blurred. The pressure behind her eyes sharpened into something else. A memory. Not clear. Not complete. But there. A dark room. Her mother's voice. Urgent. Scared. Footsteps. Heavy. Fast. A man shouting. Something crashing. McKenna gasped. Her hands flew to her head. What is it? Cross leaned closer. What do you see? I don't know, she whispered. It's not clear. Just pieces. Don't force it, Cross said gently. Let it come on its own. She squeezed her eyes shut. The fragments swirled in her mind like broken glass. A door slightly open. Light spilling through. A man grabbing her mother's arm, her mother saying, she's just a child. And then another voice. Cold. Final. Children forget. McKenna's eyes snapped open. Her breath came fast. I heard that, she whispered. Someone said, children forget. Cross's jaw tightened. Who said it? I don't know, McKenna said. The voice was familiar, but I can't place it. Cross studied her carefully. It's enough. More will come. She looked at him, trembling. What if remembering puts me in more danger? It will, Cross said honestly. But not remembering won't keep you safe either. They already know you exist. They already know you're alive. Her stomach dropped. How? Cross pulled out his phone. He tapped the screen and showed her a photo. It was her, standing outside the Huang mansion this morning, soaked in rain, holding her suitcase. Someone had taken it, sent it, shared it. This was sent to one of my company accounts this morning, Cross said, along with your name, your immigration status, and a note. McKenna's hands shook. What did the note say? Cross's voice dropped low. It said, the little witness is still breathing. Her blood went cold. Who sent it? She whispered. I don't know yet, Cross said, but whoever it was wanted me to know you were vulnerable, exposed, easy to reach. McKenna felt her world collapsing again. So they were waiting for this, waiting for me to be thrown out, alone. Cross nodded grimly, and the moment you were, they made their move. She swallowed hard. What do they want from me? Cross's eyes darkened. Silence. The word hung in the air like a threat. McKenna's pulse hammered. And if I can't stay silent? If I remember? Cross looked at her with an intensity that made her chest ache. Then they'll make sure you never speak again. Her breath stopped. Cross's voice turned cold. Absolute. But I won't let that happen. The rain poured harder. The city lights blurred outside the windows, and somewhere in the shadows someone was watching, waiting. Cross's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen. His face changed, hardened. What is it? McKenna whispered. Cross looked at her. His voice was quiet, deadly. He's alive, and he knows the witness he thought he silenced is still breathing. Who leaked it? McKenna's voice cracked. Her hands gripped the door handle like it was the only thing keeping her grounded. Cross's jaw tightened. Someone inside the Ashford estate. Her stomach dropped. Inside? You mean someone in the family? Or someone close to them, Cross said. Someone who knew exactly when you'd be thrown out. Someone who had access to your records, your photo, your immigration status. McKenna felt sick. Why would they do that? Cross's eyes darkened. Because they were paid to. Or threatened, or both. She shook her head, trying to make sense of it. But I'm nobody. Why go through all this trouble? You're not nobody, Cross said firmly. You're the one person who can destroy a lie that's been protected for years. McKenna's breath trembled. I don't even know what the lie is. Not yet, Cross said, but you will. The rain drummed harder against the car roof. The sound felt like a countdown. What am I supposed to do? McKenna whispered. I can't hide forever. You won't have to, Cross said, but right now, staying hidden keeps you alive. She looked at him. Really looked at him. His face was calm, but his eyes carried years of pain. Loss. Anger. Why are you doing this? She asked quietly. You could have just told the police I resurfaced. Let them handle it. Cross's expression hardened. The police? He let out a bitter laugh. The same police who buried your testimony, he continued. The same system that called a child unreliable because her mother cleaned floors for a living? McKenna flinched. They didn't fail you by accident, McKenna, Cross said. They failed you on purpose. Her throat tightened. You really believe that? I know it, Cross said, because the man who killed my father still walks free, still has power, still controls people in positions that are supposed to protect the truth. McKenna felt a chill crawl down her spine. So you don't trust anyone? I trust very few people, Cross said, and I won't risk your life on a system that already decided you don't matter. His words hit her like a punch, because he was right. The system never cared about people like her. People who served. People who cleaned. People who were invisible until they became inconvenient. How many people are sitting in silence right now because they know no one will believe them? How many voices were buried because the truth was too expensive to protect? McKenna swallowed hard. So, what happens now? Cross reached over and gently placed his hand on hers. The warmth startled her. Now, you rest, he said. You let your mind settle. You let the memories come naturally. And I keep you safe. She wanted to believe him, but belief felt dangerous. What if I never remember? She asked. Then I'll find another way, Cross said. But I won't let them touch you. Tears burned her eyes. You don't even know me. Cross's gaze softened. I know enough. She stared at him, confused, grateful, terrified. There's something else, Cross said quietly. McKenna's heart skipped. What? Cross hesitated. For the first time since she met him, he looked uncertain. My father, he began slowly, whispered something before he died. McKenna held her breath. He said a name, Cross continued. A name I didn't understand at the time. But when I started searching for you, I realized who he meant. Her pulse quickened. Who? Cross looked at her with an intensity that made her chest ache. Your mother. The world stopped. McKenna's breath caught. What? He said her name, Cross repeated. Clear as day. Even with blood in his lungs. Even with his last breath. Her hands trembled. That's not possible. My mother, she was just a maid. She worked night shifts. She never talked about knowing anyone important. She knew my father, Cross said, and he cared enough about her to say her name when he was dying. McKenna felt her chest crack open. Why didn't she ever tell me? Cross's voice softened. Maybe she was protecting you. Tears spilled down her cheeks. From what? From the same people who are trying to silence you now. The weight of it crushed her. Her mother. Cross's father. A murder she witnessed but couldn't remember. A testimony that was buried. A life built on lies she didn't even know existed. What did my mother have to do with any of this? McKenna whispered. Cross's jaw tightened. I don't know yet, but I think she saw something too. Or knew something. Something that connected her to my father's death. McKenna's mind spun. You think she was killed because of it? Cross didn't answer right away, but his silence said everything. Oh my God, McKenna whispered. They killed her too. Cross's hand tightened over hers. I can't prove it yet, but the timing, the way she died, it was too convenient. McKenna's whole body shook. I thought it was an accident. The hospital said it was a heart attack. Heart attacks can be induced, Cross said quietly, especially if someone wants it to look natural. Her breath came in shallow gasps. This can't be real. This can't be happening. I'm sorry, Cross whispered. I wish I had better answers. She pulled her hand away, pressing it against her mouth to stop the sob rising in her throat. Everything she thought she knew was a lie. Her mother didn't just die. She was silenced, just like they're trying to silence me now. Cross gave her a moment, then he spoke again. McKenna, there's one more thing. She looked at him through blurred vision. His voice dropped to a whisper. My father didn't just say your mother's name. Her heart stopped. He said something else. McKenna's breath trembled. What? Cross's eyes locked on hers. He said, she knows where it is. McKenna froze. Where what is? She whispered. Cross shook his head slowly. I don't know. But whatever it is, your mother hid it. And someone will kill to find it. She knows where it is? McKenna's voice shook. Her mind raced, trying to piece together fragments that didn't fit. What could my mother have hidden? She whispered. She had nothing. We had nothing. Cross's expression was careful, measured. Sometimes the most important things aren't valuable because of money. They're valuable because of what they prove. McKenna stared at him. Prove? About what? About who killed my father, Cross said. And why? Her chest tightened. You think my mother had evidence? I think she saw something she wasn't supposed to see, Cross said, and she hid it to protect you. McKenna pressed her hands against her face. This was too much. Too big. Too impossible. How did she even know your father? She asked, voice muffled. Cross leaned back in his seat, his eyes softened with something close to sadness. My father wasn't like other CEOs, he said. He didn't just sit in boardrooms and ignore the people who kept his buildings running. McKenna lowered her hands, listening. He visited the night shifts, Cross continued. The cleaning crews, the security guards, the people no one else bothered to see. Her throat tightened. He said those were the people who kept the company alive, Cross said. Not the investors, not the board members, the ones who showed up when everyone else went home. McKenna's eyes burned. My mother worked those shifts, Cross nodded. In Gangnam, the building my father's company owned. She swallowed hard. And he talked to her? More than that, Cross said. He respected her. She was one of the few people who treated him like a person instead of a title. A tear slid down McKenna's cheek. She never told me any of this. She probably didn't want you involved, Cross said gently. She knew how dangerous the world could be for people like her, like you. McKenna wiped her face with trembling hands. If she knew him, if she saw something that night, why didn't she go to the police? Cross's jaw tightened. Because she knew they wouldn't believe her, just like they didn't believe you. The weight of it crushed her. Her mother carried a secret that got her killed, and now that secret was hunting McKenna. What did your father say exactly? McKenna asked quietly. When he was dying, Cross's voice dropped. He said your mother's name. Then he said, protect the girl. And then, she knows where it is. McKenna's hands clenched in her lap. But I don't know where anything is. I don't even know what it is. Your mind buried the memory, Cross said. But it's still there. Somewhere. She shook her head. I feel like I failed everyone. Your father. My mother. You. Cross reached over and gently lifted her chin so she had to look at him. You were a child, he said firmly. You survived something that should have destroyed you. That's not failure. That's strength. Her breath hitched. I don't feel strong. You are, Cross said. You're here. You're breathing. You're fighting. That's more than most people could do. His words settled into her chest like warmth. For so long she'd been told she was worthless, a burden, a mistake. But here was someone who saw her differently. The car engine hummed softly. The rain had slowed to a drizzle. Cross pulled into an underground garage. Metal gates slid shut behind them with a heavy clang. This is my building, Cross said. No one gets in without clearance. McKenna looked around. The garage was pristine. Cameras in every corner, security panels glowing red. You really think I'm in that much danger? She asked. Cross turned off the engine. Yes. The word was simple, but it carried weight. He opened his door and stepped out. McKenna followed, her legs shaky. The air in the garage was cool. Quiet. Too quiet. Cross grabbed her suitcase from the trunk and walked toward the elevator. McKenna followed close behind, her heart pounding for reasons she couldn't name. When they reached the elevator, Cross pressed his palm against a scanner. The doors slid open. They stepped inside. The doors closed with a soft hiss. And then Cross spoke. His voice was low, almost a whisper. Before we go inside, McKenna, you need to know something. She looked at him. Her stomach twisted. What? Cross's eyes met hers, serious, concerned. Someone followed us. Her breath stopped. What? From the mansion to here, Cross said. A black sedan. It stayed 2 cars behind the entire way. McKenna's hands went numb. Are you sure? I'm sure, Cross said. They know where you are now. Her pulse hammered in her ears. Who are they? Cross's jaw clenched. The people who want to make sure you never remember. The elevator climbed higher, floor after floor. McKenna pressed her back against the wall, trying to breathe. Why didn't you tell me sooner? She whispered. I didn't want to scare you, Cross said, but you need to understand what we're dealing with. She nodded, even though fear was already crawling up her spine. The elevator slowed. The numbers climbed higher. 35, 36, 37. Then it stopped. The lights flickered. McKenna's heart jumped. What's happening? Cross's hand moved to his phone. His expression sharpened. Someone's tampering with the system. The elevator went dark for a moment, then the emergency lights kicked in. Red. Dim, and from somewhere outside the elevator, McKenna heard it. A soft tap. Then another. Someone was on the other side of the doors. Cross stepped in front of her. His voice was calm, deadly. Stay behind me. The tapping stopped. McKenna held her breath. The elevator was silent except for the hum of the emergency lights. Cross didn't move. His body was tense, blocking her from whatever was outside. Who's out there? McKenna whispered. I don't know, Cross said quietly. But they shouldn't be able to access this floor. Her heart pounded. What do we do? Cross tapped his phone. The screen glowed in the dim red light. His fingers moved fast, typing something. Then the elevator jolted. McKenna stumbled. Cross caught her arm, steadying her. The lights flickered back on. Full brightness. The elevator started moving again. McKenna exhaled shakily. What just happened? Someone tried to override the system, Cross said, but I have a backup protocol. The elevator climbed higher. 38, 39, 40. The doors finally slid open. Cross stepped out first, scanning the hallway. It was empty. Quiet. Marble floors. Soft lighting. No sign of anyone. He motioned for McKenna to follow. She stepped out, clutching her suitcase. Her hands were still shaking. "This way," Cross said, leading her down the hall to a large door at the end. He pressed his palm against another scanner. The door unlocked with a heavy click. They stepped inside. McKenna stopped, her breath catching. The penthouse was massive. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the city. Rain streaked the glass, but beyond it, the lights of the skyline glittered like stars. It was beautiful. Overwhelming. Nothing like the cramped room she'd shared at the Ashford estate. "This is where you live?" she whispered. Cross set her suitcase down near the entrance. "Yes. And for now, it's where you'll stay too." McKenna turned to him. "I don't understand why you're doing all this." Cross closed the door and locked it. Multiple locks, a security panel lit up beside the frame. "You're safe here," he said. "No one can get in without my authorization." "That's not what I asked," McKenna said. "Why are you protecting me like this? You barely know me." Cross paused, his jaw tightened. For a moment, he looked like he was deciding how much to say. "I know more than you think," he said quietly. "Then tell me," McKenna said, "because right now I feel like I'm drowning in secrets. I don't understand." Cross walked to the window, staring out at the rain. His reflection looked tired, heavy. "After my father died," he began slowly, "I tried to find you." McKenna's breath caught. "Find me? Why?" "Because you were the only witness," Cross said, "the only person who saw what happened. And when I learned your testimony was buried, I knew something was wrong." He turned to face her. "I wanted to thank you," he continued, "for trying to speak up, for being brave when you were just a child." McKenna's throat tightened. "I wasn't brave. I was terrified." "Bravery isn't the absence of fear," Cross said. "It's speaking even when you're afraid." Her eyes burned. "I didn't help anyone." "You tried," Cross said. "That's more than most people would do." She looked down, her hands trembling. How many people stay silent because they think their voice doesn't matter? How many witnesses disappear because no one fights for them? Cross's voice softened. "When your mother died, I searched for you. But you were gone. The orphanage had no records, no forwarding address. It was like you vanished." McKenna swallowed hard. "I was shuffled between homes. Then I aged out. Then I just survived." "I never stopped looking," Cross said, "even when years passed, even when people told me to let it go." Her chest ached. "Why? Why not just move on?" Cross stepped closer, his eyes locked on hers. "Because my father's last words were about protecting you," he said, "and I couldn't protect you if I didn't know where you were." Tears spilled down McKenna's cheeks. "You've been searching for me all this time?" "Yes," Cross said simply. She shook her head, overwhelmed. "I'm nobody, just a maid who got thrown out in the rain." "You're not nobody," Cross said firmly. "You're the person my father died trying to protect. You're the witness who could bring justice, and you're someone who deserves to be safe." McKenna's breath hitched. "I don't know how to believe that." "Then let me believe it for you," Cross said, "until you can believe it yourself." The words settled into her chest like a promise. For so long no one had fought for her. No one had cared. But here was someone who'd been searching for years. The rain pounded harder against the windows. Cross glanced at the security panel on the wall. His expression changed. "What is it?" McKenna asked. Cross tapped the screen. A camera feed appeared. Multiple angles, the lobby, the garage, the hallway outside. One of the feeds showed something that made his jaw tighten. "What?" McKenna stepped closer. "What do you see?" Cross pointed to the screen. A figure stood in the garage, 2 floors below, just standing there, watching the camera. The person was dressed in black, hood pulled low, face hidden. McKenna's blood went cold. Who is that? I don't know, Cross said, but they got past the gate. Her breath came faster. How is that possible? Cross's voice was low, controlled. Someone with access gave them clearance. McKenna's hands went numb. You mean someone you know? Cross didn't answer, but the tension in his shoulders said everything. He tapped the screen again. The figure on the camera tilted their head, and then they raised their hand. Slowly, deliberately. They waved. McKenna stumbled back. Oh my God, Cross's expression turned deadly. They know we're watching. The figure turned and walked toward the elevator. Cross's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, his face drained of color. What? McKenna whispered. What is it? Cross looked at her. His voice was quiet, shaken. They just sent me a message. McKenna's heart stopped. What does it say? Cross turned the phone toward her. 3 words glowed on the screen. She remembers now. She remembers now? McKenna's voice cracked. Her hands trembled as she stared at the message. But I don't remember, she whispered. I don't remember anything clearly. Cross's jaw clenched. They don't know that. They're testing us. Testing us? McKenna's breath came faster. What does that mean? Cross pulled up the security feed again. The figure in the garage was gone. Where did they go? McKenna asked. Cross tapped through different camera angles. Lobby, stairwell, parking level 2. Nothing. They vanished, Cross said quietly. McKenna backed away from the screen. How is that possible? You said no one could get in without clearance. They had clearance, Cross said, which means someone gave it to them. Her stomach twisted. Someone you trust? Cross didn't answer, but the silence was heavy. He moved to the window, scanning the street below. Rain streaked the glass. The city lights blurred into streaks of gold and white. They're gone for now, Cross said, but they made their point. What point? McKenna whispered. Cross turned to her. His expression was hard, protective. That they can reach you whenever they want. Her knees felt weak. She pressed her hand against the wall to steady herself. Why are they doing this? She asked. If they wanted to kill me, they could have done it at the mansion, or in the car, or in the elevator. They don't want you dead yet, Cross said. They want to know what you remember, and who you've told. McKenna shook her head. I haven't told anyone anything. I don't even know what I'm supposed to remember. But they don't know that, Cross said, and until they're sure, they'll keep watching. The weight of it crushed her. She was being hunted by people she couldn't see, for memories she couldn't access. Cross walked toward her. Come with me. You need to rest. I can't rest, McKenna said, not with someone out there watching. You're safe here, Cross said firmly. I promise. She wanted to believe him, but safety felt like a lie. He led her deeper into the penthouse, past the living room, down a hallway lined with soft lighting. McKenna's eyes wandered. Everything was clean, minimal, expensive. Then something on the wall caught her attention. A framed newspaper clipping. She stopped. Cross noticed. McKenna? She stepped closer, her breath catching. The headline stared back at her in bold black letters. CEO Jin found dead in warehouse fire. No witnesses. Beneath it was a photo. A man in a suit, smiling, kind eyes. McKenna's chest tightened. That's your father? She whispered. Cross nodded. Yes. She stared at the photo. Something about his face felt familiar. Not like she'd met him, but like she'd seen him before, in a memory she couldn't reach. Her hand lifted slowly, fingers hovering near the glass. I've seen this before, she whispered. Cross's head snapped toward her. What? McKenna's voice was barely audible. This photo, this headline, I've seen it. Cross stepped closer. Where? When? She shook her head, confused. I don't know. It's like A shadow in my mind. Cross's voice softened. Don't force it. Just tell me what you feel. McKenna closed her eyes. The memory tried to surface, fragmented, blurred. A dark room. Her mother holding a newspaper. Tears on her mother's face. A whisper. They killed him. And they'll kill us too if we talk. McKenna gasped. Her eyes flew open. What? Cross asked urgently. What did you see? My mother, McKenna whispered. She was holding this newspaper. She was crying. Cross's expression tightened. What did she say? McKenna's breath shook. She said, they killed him. And they'll kill us too if we talk. The words hung in the air like a curse. Cross's hands curled into fists. She knew. She knew it wasn't an accident. McKenna's legs gave out. She sank to the floor, her back against the wall. She knew, McKenna whispered. And she never told anyone. She just stayed silent. Cross knelt beside her. She was protecting you. The only way she knew how. Tears spilled down McKenna's cheeks. But it didn't work. They still came for her. They still killed her. Cross's voice was quiet, pained. I know. McKenna looked at him through blurred vision. If my mother knew, if she saw what happened, why didn't she go to the police? Cross's jaw tightened. Because she knew they wouldn't help, just like they didn't help you. The truth of it shattered her. Her mother carried the weight of a murder, alone, afraid, until it killed her. And now McKenna was carrying the same burden. What else do you remember? Cross asked gently. McKenna shook her head. It's all pieces, fragments, nothing clear. It will come, Cross said. Your mind is starting to let it through. She wiped her face with trembling hands. I don't know if I want it to come. Every memory feels like a knife. Cross reached out and gently touched her shoulder. You're not alone this time. I'm here, and I won't let them hurt you. His voice was so steady, so certain. McKenna wanted to believe him, but belief felt dangerous. She stared at the newspaper clipping again, at Cross's father's face, and something deep in her chest whispered, You know more than you think. Cross stood and offered his hand. Come on. You need to lie down. McKenna took his hand. He helped her to her feet, but as they walked down the hallway, her vision blurred. Not from tears, from something else. A pressure behind her eyes, a memory pushing through. She stopped. Cross turned. McKenna? Her breath came fast, shallow. The hallway tilted, and then she saw it. A flash. A warehouse. Her mother's hand gripping hers. A man's voice shouting. Fire. Smoke. Her mother screaming. Run, McKenna. Run! McKenna gasped. Her knees buckled. Cross caught her. McKenna, what's happening? She couldn't speak. The memory was too strong, too real. And then she heard it. Another voice. Cold. Final. If the girl speaks, we lose everything. McKenna's eyes snapped open. She looked at Cross, trembling. What did you remember? He asked urgently. Her voice was a broken whisper. I remember his voice. Cross's breath stopped. Whose voice? McKenna's chest heaved. The man who killed your father. You remember his voice? Cross's grip tightened on McKenna's arms. His eyes searched hers desperately. Tell me, he said. What did it sound like? McKenna's breath came in shallow gasps. The memory was still there, sharp and jagged, cutting through the fog in her mind. Deep, she whispered. Calm, like he wasn't afraid of anything. Cross's jaw clenched. What else? She closed her eyes, trying to hold on to the fragments before they slipped away. There was shouting, she said. Someone was angry. But his voice, it was quiet, cold. The warehouse flickered in her mind again. Darkness, smoke, the smell of burning wood. her mother's hand squeezing hers so hard it hurt. "Stay quiet, McKenna. Don't make a sound." But she couldn't stay quiet. She was too scared. And then she heard it, her mother's voice, desperate, pleading. "She's just a child. She doesn't know anything." McKenna's eyes flew open. She grabbed Cross's sleeve. "My mother said that," McKenna whispered. "She said, she's just a child. She doesn't know anything." Cross's expression darkened. Who was she talking to? "I don't know," McKenna said. But someone answered her. Her chest tightened. The memory pushed deeper. The voice came back. Cold. Final. "Children forget." McKenna's breath hitched. He said, "Children forget." Cross's face went pale. "That's what he said? Those exact words?" "Yes," McKenna whispered. And then, I don't remember what happened next. Everything goes dark. Cross stepped back, running his hand through his hair. His mind was racing. "He thought you'd forget," Cross said quietly. "That's why he didn't kill you. He thought your memory would bury it." McKenna's hands shook. "But I didn't forget. Not completely." "No," Cross said. "You didn't." She looked at him, fear crawling up her spine. "What if he finds out I'm remembering?" Cross's voice was firm. "Then I'll make sure he never gets close to you." But the certainty in his voice didn't stop the panic rising in her chest. "He was right there," McKenna whispered. "He saw me. He knew I was a witness, and he just let me live." How many people are walking around right now carrying secrets they were told to forget? How many voices were silenced because someone decided they didn't matter? Cross knelt in front of her. "McKenna, listen to me. Your mind protected you. It buried the memory because you were a child, and you couldn't carry that weight. But I'm carrying it now," she said, voice breaking. "And it's destroying me." "It's not destroying you," Cross said. "It's waking you up, and that's what scares them." McKenna wiped her eyes. "Who is them? Who are these people?" Cross's expression hardened. "The man who killed my father didn't work alone. He had help, power, influence." "What kind of power?" McKenna asked. "The kind that buries evidence," Cross said. "The kind that makes witnesses disappear. The kind that controls police reports and court cases." Her stomach twisted. "You're talking about someone in the government." Cross didn't deny it. "Someone high up?" McKenna whispered. "Yes," Cross said, "and someone who's still in power today." The weight of it crushed her. This wasn't just a murder, it was a conspiracy. "Why would someone that powerful care about your father?" McKenna asked. Cross's jaw tightened. "Because my father found something. Something that could have destroyed them." "What?" "I don't know yet," Cross said. "But whatever it was worth killing for." McKenna's mind spun. "And my mother knew about it?" Cross nodded. "She must have. That's why she was there that night." McKenna's chest ached. "She wasn't just a maid, was she?" "I don't think so," Cross said quietly. "I think she was helping my father." Tears burned McKenna's eyes. "And it got her killed." Cross didn't answer, but the pain in his eyes said everything. McKenna stood slowly, her legs shaky. She walked to the window, staring out at the rain. "You said someone from the Huang mansion leaked my information," she said quietly. "Yes," Cross said. She turned to face him. "Who would do that?" Cross hesitated. "Someone who knew you were connected to my father's case," he said. "Someone who wanted to make sure you stayed buried." McKenna's pulse quickened. "You think someone in that house knows about the murder?" "I think," Cross said slowly, "someone in that house was involved." Her blood went cold. "Who?" she whispered. Cross pulled out his phone. He scrolled through something, then stopped. His expression changed. "What?" McKenna asked. "What is it?" Cross turned the phone toward her. It was a photo. old, grainy. A group of men in suits standing outside a building. Cross's father was in the center, and standing beside him, smiling, was another man. Makeena's breath stopped. She recognized him. That's... Her voice cracked. That's Tristan Ashford's uncle. Cross's eyes locked on hers. He was my father's business partner, Cross said, and the last person to see him alive. Makeena's hands went numb. No, she whispered. That's not possible. It is, Cross said, and there's more. He swiped to another photo, a document, a report. This is the police file from the night my father died, Cross said. It was sealed, but I got access. Makeena stepped closer, reading the faded text. One name jumped out at her. Witness interviewed, SEO Eugen. Her heart stopped. Marcus Brennan, she whispered. That's... Cross's voice was cold, deadly. Tristan Ashford's uncle, the man who was at the Huang mansion this morning. Makeena's knees buckled. Cross caught her. He was there, Makeena whispered. He was in the warehouse. I heard his voice. Cross's grip tightened. Are you sure? She nodded, tears streaming down her face. I'm sure. Cross's expression turned murderous. Then he's the one who killed my father. Makeena looked at him, trembling. And he knows I remember. He knows I remember. The words hung in the air like a death sentence. Cross's face hardened. Then we need to move fast. Makeena's chest heaved. Move fast? What does that mean? It means, Cross said, we need proof before he can destroy it. Proof of what? Makeena asked, her voice rising. I barely remember anything, just pieces, just voices. Cross placed his hands on her shoulders, steadying her. Those pieces are enough, but we need more. Makeena shook her head. I don't understand. If Marcus Brennan was there, if he killed your father, why isn't he in prison? Cross's jaw clenched. Because he wasn't alone. Her breath caught. What do you mean? There was a second voice in that warehouse, Cross said. Someone giving orders. Someone more powerful than Eugen. Makeena felt the room tilt. A second person? Cross nodded. Eugen was the one who did it, but someone else told him to. She backed away, her mind racing. Who? That's what I'm trying to figure out, Cross said. But whoever it is, they have enough power to bury evidence, to silence witnesses, to make an entire case disappear. Makeena's hands trembled. And you think they sent my photo to you? I know they did, Cross said. They wanted me to know you were vulnerable. Alone. Easy to reach. Why would they do that? Makeena whispered. Cross's eyes darkened. To see if I'd come for you. And when I did, they'd know you were important enough to protect. Her stomach twisted. So they're watching. Waiting. Yes, Cross said, and they're trying to figure out what you remember. Makeena pressed her hands against her head. I don't know what I remember. It's all fragments, shadows, voices. That's enough to scare them, Cross said, because even fragments can destroy lies. Lightning cracked outside the window. The storm was getting worse. Makeena looked at Cross, fear clawing at her chest. You said you need confirmation before you can name this person. Cross nodded. I have suspicions, but I can't accuse someone that powerful without proof. Who is it? Makeena asked. Just tell me. Cross hesitated, his jaw tightened. I can't. Not yet. Why not? Because if I'm wrong, Cross said, it puts you in even more danger. Makeena's breath shook. And if you're right? Cross's voice dropped. Then we're dealing with someone who can make us both disappear. The weight of it crushed her. She walked to the window, staring out at the rain. The city lights blurred through the water, streaking down the glass. Did my mother ever say anything? Makeena asked quietly. Anything about someone she was afraid of? Cross stepped beside her. What do you mean? Before she died, McKenna said. Did she mention a name? Someone who scared her? Cross was silent for a moment. She disappeared before I could ask her. McKenna's chest tightened. Of course she did. Thunder rumbled low and angry, and then something shifted in McKenna's mind, a pressure behind her eyes, another memory trying to break through. She gasped, gripping the edge of the window frame. McKenna? Cross's voice was urgent. What is it? She squeezed her eyes shut. The memory was there, just beneath the surface. A dark room. Her mother's voice, urgent, scared, and then another voice, sharp, commanding. If the girl speaks, we lose everything. McKenna's eyes flew open. Her breath came fast. I heard it again, she whispered. Cross stepped closer. Heard what? The second voice, McKenna said. The one giving orders. Cross's eyes sharpened. What did they say? McKenna's voice shook. If the girl speaks, we lose everything. Cross's expression turned deadly. You're sure? Yes, McKenna said. I heard it, clear as day. Cross's hands curled into fists. Did you recognize the voice? McKenna hesitated. Her chest felt tight. I don't know, she whispered. It sounded familiar, but I can't place it. Try, Cross said gently. Close your eyes. Listen to it again in your mind. McKenna closed her eyes, her heart pounding. The voice echoed in her memory, cold, controlled, powerful. If the girl speaks, we lose everything. She focused on the tone, the rhythm, the way the words were spoken, and then something clicked. Her eyes snapped open. I've heard that voice before, she whispered. Cross's breath stopped. Where? McKenna's hands trembled. Recently. Very recently. Where, McKenna? Cross asked urgently. Her mind raced. The past few days blurred together. The mansion, the rain, the car, the elevator. And then she remembered. The man in the hallway. The one who knocked on Cross's door. The one who said, children never stay hidden forever. Her blood went cold. Marcus Brennan, she whispered. That's his voice. Cross's jaw tightened. Are you certain? McKenna nodded, her breath coming faster. Yes, it's the same voice. The one from the warehouse. Cross's expression turned murderous. Then he's the one, Cross said. He killed my father, and he tried to silence you. McKenna felt her legs weaken. What do we do? Cross's voice was cold, final. We make sure he can't run. But before he could say more, his phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen. His face changed. What? McKenna asked. What is it? Cross looked at her, his expression grim. Someone just accessed your sealed adoption records. McKenna's heart stopped. What? How? Government-level clearance, Cross said. Someone with access to classified files. Her hands went numb. Why would they do that? Cross's voice was tight. Because they're looking for leverage, weaknesses, anything they can use against you. McKenna's breath shook. What did they find? Cross scrolled through the message, his face drained of color. Cross? McKenna whispered. What did they find? He looked at her, his voice barely a whisper. They deleted it. Her chest tightened. Deleted what? Cross's expression was stricken. All of it. Your entire file, your childhood, your mother's information, your identity. McKenna stumbled back. That's not possible. It is, Cross said, and it means they're preparing for something. Her breath came in gasps. Preparing for what? Cross's voice turned deadly. To erase you completely. Erase me? McKenna's voice cracked. Her hands gripped the edge of the table to keep from falling. Cross stepped closer. Sit down. You need to rest. I can't rest, McKenna said, her breath coming fast. Not when someone's trying to erase my entire existence. That's exactly why you need to rest, Cross said firmly. Your mind is overwhelmed. Your body is exhausted. If you collapse now, they win. McKenna looked at him, her eyes filled with tears. How am I supposed to rest knowing someone out there wants me gone? Cross's voice softened. Because I won't let them touch you. The certainty in his words made her chest ache. He reached for her hand. Come with me. She hesitated, then let him guide her down the hallway. Her legs felt weak. Her mind was spinning. Cross opened a door at the end of the hall. Warm light spilled out. McKenna stepped inside. The guest room was simple, clean. A soft bed with white sheets. A window overlooking the city. A small chair in the corner. It was nothing like the cramped servants' quarters at the Ashford estate. Nothing like the cold orphanage room she'd grown up in. It felt safe. Cross set her suitcase beside the bed. This is yours. No one enters without your permission. McKenna turned to him, her throat tight. Why are you doing this? Because you deserve it, Cross said simply. She shook her head. I don't deserve anything. I'm just a maid who… Stop, Cross interrupted. Don't say that. His voice was firm, but not harsh. You were a child who witnessed a murder, he continued. A daughter who lost her mother. A woman who survived a family that threw you away. You're stronger than anyone in that mansion. McKenna's breath hitched. No one had ever said anything like that to her. I don't feel strong, she whispered. Strength isn't about feeling strong, Cross said. It's about surviving when everything tells you to break. Her eyes burned with tears. He stepped closer, his voice gentle. You've been surviving your whole life, McKenna. Now it's time to let someone else fight for you. A tear slid down her cheek. How many people are carrying burdens alone because they think no one will help? How many are barely surviving while the world walks past? McKenna wiped her face. What if I can't remember everything? What if my memory isn't enough? Then we find another way, Cross said, but right now you need to rest. Let your mind settle. Let your body heal. She looked around the room again. The soft bed. The warm light. The quiet. For the first time in years she felt safe. Not because the room was expensive. Not because the bed was comfortable. But because someone cared if she lived or died. Thank you, she whispered. Cross nodded. Get some sleep. I'll be right down the hall if you need me. He turned to leave. Cross? McKenna's voice stopped him. He looked back. Will I be safe here? She asked quietly. His expression was steady. Certain. As long as you stay, no one can touch you. The promise settled into her chest like a lifeline. Cross stepped into the hallway and closed the door softly behind him. McKenna stood there for a moment, staring at the closed door. Then she sank onto the bed, her body finally giving in to the exhaustion. The sheets were soft. The pillow smelled clean. She closed her eyes, letting herself breathe. For the first time in forever, she wasn't scared. But the peace didn't last long. A sharp beep echoed from somewhere outside the room. McKenna's eyes flew open. She sat up, her heart pounding. The beep came again, louder this time. She stood and walked to the door, pressing her ear against it. Footsteps. Fast. Urgent. Cross's voice, low and sharp. What the hell? McKenna opened the door slowly. Cross stood in the hallway, staring at a security panel on the wall. Red lights blinked across the screen. Cross? McKenna's voice was shaky. What's happening? He didn't look at her. His eyes stayed locked on the panel. Someone just tried to access the penthouse, he said quietly. McKenna's breath stopped. What? Cross tapped the screen. A camera feed appeared. Empty hallway, no one in sight. They tried to override the lock, Cross said, but the system blocked them. McKenna stepped closer, her pulse racing. Who would do that? Cross's jaw tightened. Someone with high-level clearance. Her stomach twisted. You mean, someone you know? Cross didn't answer right away. The silence was heavy. "Where did the access attempt come from?" McKenna asked. Cross zoomed in on the feed. A floor number appeared in the corner. Floor 35. McKenna's heart stopped. "What's on floor 35? Cross's voice was cold. "Restricted access. Executive offices. Only 3 people have clearance to that floor." "Who?" McKenna whispered. Cross's expression darkened. "Me, my head of security, and 1 other person." McKenna's breath trembled. "Who's the 3rd person?" Cross turned to her, his eyes hard. "My business partner." Her chest tightened. "Do you trust them?" Cross's silence was answer enough. The security panel beeped again. McKenna jumped. Cross's eyes snapped back to the screen. Another alert. "Access attempt. Floor 35. "They're trying again," Cross said. McKenna's hands went numb. "What do we do?" Cross's voice was deadly calm. "We find out who it is." He pulled out his phone and made a call. It rang once, twice. No answer. Cross's jaw clenched. He tried again. Still no answer. He looked at McKenna, his expression grim. "Something's wrong." Before she could respond, the lights in the hallway flickered. Once. Twice. Then they went out completely. Darkness swallowed them. McKenna's breath came fast. "Cross." "Stay close to me," he said. She reached for his arm, gripping it tightly. Emergency lights kicked in. Dim, red. Everything looked wrong, dangerous. Cross moved toward the security panel. The screen was black. "They cut the power," he said quietly. McKenna's pulse hammered. "How is that possible?" "Someone inside the building," Cross said. "Someone with access to the main grid." Her legs felt weak. "Your partner?" Cross didn't answer. And then they heard it, a sound from down the hall. Slow, deliberate, footsteps, getting closer. Cross stepped in front of McKenna, shielding her. The footsteps stopped. A shadow appeared at the end of the hallway, tall, still, silent. McKenna's breath stopped. The figure stepped forward, into the red light, and McKenna's heart dropped. Because she recognized the face. It was someone from the Huang mansion, someone who should not be here. Cross's voice was cold, deadly. "What are you doing here?" The figure smiled and spoke with a voice that made McKenna's blood run cold. "I came to finish what we started." "Finish what you started?" Cross's voice was ice. His body tensed, ready to move. The figure stepped closer. The red emergency lights cast shadows across their face. McKenna's breath caught. It was Mr. James, the head butler from the Huang mansion. "You?" McKenna whispered. "What are you doing here?" Mr. James's expression was calm. Too calm. "I came to deliver a message." Cross moved in front of McKenna completely, blocking her from view. "How did you get in here?" "I have my ways," Mr. James said. "Money opens doors, even yours." Cross's jaw clenched. "Who sent you?" Mr. James smiled thinly. "Someone who wants to make sure the girl understands her place." McKenna's hands shook. "My place?" "Silent," Mr. James said. "Forgotten. Gone." Cross's fists tightened. "Get out. Now." "I'm leaving," Mr. James said. "But not before I tell you both something." He reached into his coat. Cross stepped forward, ready to strike. But Mr. James only pulled out a phone. He held it up, showing them the screen. A photo. McKenna's breath stopped. It was her, as a child, standing outside a warehouse, tears on her face, blood on her hands. "Where did you get that?" Cross demanded. "From someone who's been watching her for a very long time," Mr. James said. "Someone who knows exactly what she saw that night." McKenna felt her knees weaken. "I don't remember taking that photo." "You didn't," Mr. James said. "Someone else did. Right after the fire. Right after you ran." Cross's voice was deadly. "Who took it?" Mr. James pocketed the phone. "Someone who wants to make sure she never speaks." He turned to leave. "Wait," Cross said sharply. "Why show us this?" Mr. James paused at the end of the hallway. Because they wanted you to know. They've always known where she was. They've always been watching. He disappeared into the stairwell. The door slammed shut. Makina collapsed against the wall, her breath coming in gasps. Cross immediately pulled out his phone, checking the security feed. "He's gone," Cross said, but he wasn't alone. Makina looked up. "What?" Cross showed her the screen. A camera feed from 2 floors below. A shadow moved across the frame, quick, silent. "Someone else is in the building," Cross said. Makina's heart pounded. "Who?" "I don't know," Cross said, "but they have high-level authorization. They know the layout. They know how to avoid cameras." He zoomed in on the feed. The shadow moved toward the stairwell. Then it stopped and turned, looking directly at the camera. Makina's breath caught. "Can you see their face?" Cross shook his head. "They're wearing a hood, but they want us to know they're here." The shadow raised a hand, slowly, deliberately, and waved. Makina stumbled back. "Oh my God." Cross's expression turned murderous. "They're playing with us." "Why?" Makina whispered. "Why not just kill me and be done with it?" Cross looked at her, his voice low. "Because they don't want you dead yet." Her chest tightened. "What do they want?" "They want to know what you remember," Cross said. "Who you've told. What proof you have." Makina's hands shook. "I don't have proof. I don't even have clear memories." "They don't know that," Cross said, "and until they're sure, they'll keep watching." Waiting. The shadow on the screen moved again, disappearing down the stairwell. Cross switched to another camera. The lobby. Empty. "Where did they go?" Makina asked. Cross's jaw tightened. "They're hiding. Somewhere in the building." He moved toward the security panel, typing rapidly. Lights flickered back on. Power restored. "Did you lock them out?" Makina asked. "For now," Cross said, "but if they have authorization, they can override it again." Makina felt her chest tighten. "So, we're trapped?" "No," Cross said. "We're protected. There's a difference." But the certainty in his voice didn't stop the fear crawling up her spine. Suddenly, a loud knock echoed through the penthouse. Not on the front door. On the guest room door. Makina's breath stopped. Cross's head snapped toward the hallway. "That's not possible." "What?" Makina whispered. "No one should be able to reach that door," Cross said. "It's at the end of a secured hallway." Another knock. Louder this time. Slow. Deliberate. Mocking. Cross moved fast, pulling Makina behind him. "Stay close." They walked down the hallway. The guest room door stood at the end. The knocking stopped. Silence. Cross reached for the door handle. "Don't," Makina whispered. "Please." "I have to see," Cross said. He opened the door. The room was empty. But on the bed, something had been left. A photograph. Cross stepped inside slowly. Makina followed, her heart pounding. Cross picked up the photo. His face went pale. "What is it?" Makina asked. He turned it toward her. It was a picture of her mother, young, smiling, standing beside a man in a suit. Cross's father. Makina's breath caught. That's my mother. And my father," Cross whispered. But there was something else in the photo. In the background, barely visible, stood another man, watching them. Makina squinted. "Who is that?" Cross's voice was tight. "I don't know, but someone wanted us to see this." Makina's hands trembled. "Why leave this here? Why now?" Cross flipped the photo over. Words were scrawled on the back in black ink. "She knew too much, just like you." Makina's legs gave out. Cross caught her, holding her steady. "This is a threat," he said quietly. "They're telling us they can reach you anywhere." Makina's breath came in gasps. "I can't do this. I can't." A loud slam echoed from the front of the penthouse. The main door. Cross's eyes sharpened. Stay here. No, McKenna grabbed his arm. Don't leave me. I have to check, Cross said. He moved toward the hallway. McKenna followed, terrified. They reached the front door. It was still locked, bolted, secure, but something was on the floor. An envelope. Cross picked it up. His hands were steady, but his expression was dark. He opened it. Inside was a single piece of paper. Cross read it, his face drained of color. What does it say? McKenna whispered. Cross's voice was barely audible. It says, if the witness talks, everyone she loves dies. McKenna's heart stopped. But I don't have anyone left, she whispered. Cross looked at her. His expression was stricken. You have me. You have me. The words hung in the air. McKenna stared at Cross, her chest tight. What does that mean? Before he could answer, another knock echoed through the penthouse. This time it came from the front door. Not frantic, not rushed, slow, controlled, almost polite. But there was something menacing about it. Cross's expression hardened. Stay behind me. He moved toward the door, checking the security monitor first. A man stood outside, tall, black coat, hands in his pockets, face calm. Too calm. Who is it? McKenna whispered. Cross's jaw clenched. Someone who shouldn't be here. He opened the door, just a crack, not enough to let the man inside. Dominic Cross, the man said with a slight bow. His voice was smooth, educated. We need to talk. Cross's voice was cold. This is not the time. The man smiled. It wasn't the time 10 years ago either. But here we are. McKenna's breath caught. She recognized that voice. Not from the mansion, not from the warehouse, but from somewhere deeper in her buried memories. What do you want? Cross demanded. The man tilted his head. I heard you've brought someone interesting into your home. Cross stepped forward, blocking the view inside. If you value your position, you'll walk away now. The man chuckled. Oh, Cross, always so dramatic. He leaned slightly, trying to see past Cross's shoulder. McKenna pressed herself against the wall, her heart pounding. I'm only here to deliver a warning, the man continued. I don't need your warnings, Cross said. Perhaps not, the man said. But the girl does. McKenna's blood went cold. Cross's voice dropped to a deadly whisper. Say another word about her and what? The man interrupted. You'll call the police. The same police who buried her testimony years ago? Cross's fists clenched. The man smiled. A witness resurfaced. A little girl from long ago. You'd be wise not to dig up that grave. McKenna felt her knees weaken. Leave, Cross said. Now. The man straightened his coat. I'm going. But tell the girl something for me. Cross didn't respond. The man's voice turned cold. Tell her that children never stay hidden forever. The words hit McKenna like a punch. She stumbled back, pressing her hand against her mouth to stop the gasp. Cross's expression turned murderous. Get out. The man smiled one last time. Good night, Cross. Sleep well. He turned and walked away. Slow, unhurried, like he had all the time in the world. Cross slammed the door shut. He locked every bolt. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then he pressed his forehead against the door, breathing hard. McKenna's voice was shaky. Who was that? Cross turned to her. His eyes were dark, filled with rage she'd never seen before. Marcus Brennan, he said quietly. Her heart stopped. The man from the warehouse, she whispered. Cross nodded. My father's advisor, the last person to see him alive. McKenna felt the room spin. He was just here, at your door. Yes, Cross said. Why would he come here? McKenna asked. Why risk being seen? Cross's jaw tightened. Because he wanted to send a message. What message? Cross looked at her. That he knows you're here, that he knows you're remembering, and that he's not afraid. McKenna sank onto the couch, her whole body trembling. He said children never stay hidden, she whispered. What does that mean? Cross sat beside her. It means he knows the truth will come out eventually, but he's confident he can stop it. How? McKenna asked. Cross's voice was quiet. By stopping you. Her breath came faster. He's going to kill me. No, Cross said firmly. I won't let that happen. You can't stop him, McKenna said, her voice breaking. He's too powerful. He has too many connections. I don't care, Cross said. He's not touching you. McKenna looked at him, tears streaming down her face. Why are you doing this? Why protect me when it puts your own life at risk? Cross reached out and gently wiped a tear from her cheek. Because my father's last words were about protecting you, he said quietly. And I won't fail him again. McKenna's chest ached. You didn't fail him. I did, Cross said. I was too young to understand what was happening, too powerless to stop it. But I'm not powerless anymore. His voice was steady, certain. And neither are you. How many people carry guilt for things they couldn't control? How many blame themselves for tragedies that were never their fault? McKenna wiped her face. What do we do now? Cross stood. Now we prepare. Prepare for what? For war, Cross said, because that's what this is. And I'm not letting you fight it alone. He walked to the window, staring out at the city lights. Eugen came here to intimidate us, Cross said, to make us afraid, to make us doubt. It worked, McKenna whispered. Cross turned to her. Then we prove him wrong. How? Cross's expression hardened. By finding proof, by exposing him, by making sure the world knows what he did. McKenna stood slowly. And if we can't find proof, Cross's voice was cold. Then I'll make him confess. The determination in his eyes sent a shiver through her, but before she could respond, Cross's phone buzzed. He glanced at it. His face changed. What? McKenna asked. Cross looked at her, his expression grim. Someone just sent me a video. A video of what? Cross's jaw clenched. Of you, as a child, outside the warehouse. McKenna's breath stopped. How is that possible? She whispered. Cross pressed play. The screen showed grainy footage. A little girl standing in the rain. Blood on her hands. Tears on her face. McKenna. The camera zoomed in. And then a voice spoke over the footage. Cold. Familiar. Marcus Brennan's voice. She saw everything. And soon everyone will know. The video ended. McKenna's hands shook. What does that mean? Cross's voice was tight. It means he's going to release this. To the media. To the police. To everyone. But why? McKenna asked. Why expose himself? Cross's expression darkened. Because he's not exposing himself. He's exposing you. McKenna felt her world tilt. What? Cross turned the phone toward her. Another message appeared. The witness is a liar, and I have proof. Her breath caught. Cross's voice was deadly. He's going to destroy your credibility before you can even speak. McKenna's legs gave out. Cross caught her. But I haven't said anything yet, she whispered. It doesn't matter, Cross said. He's preparing the narrative, and once it's out there, no one will believe you. Tears spilled down her cheeks. So what do we do? Cross's eyes burned with rage. We strike first. McKenna looked at him, trembling. How? Cross's voice was quiet, final. By proving he's the one who's lying. But before he could explain, another message came through. Cross's face drained of color. What is it? McKenna whispered. Cross showed her the screen. A single sentence. She's awake, and she remembers everything. Makina's heart stopped. Who sent that? She asked. Cross's voice was barely a whisper. Someone who's been watching us this whole time. Someone's been watching us? Makina's voice cracked. Her hands gripped Cross's arm. The whole time, Cross said quietly. Every move we've made. Her breath came faster. How is that possible? Cross stared at his phone, his jaw tight. Cameras. Tracking. Someone with access to systems I thought were secure. Who? Makina whispered. Cross didn't answer, but the fury in his eyes said he had suspicions. He pocketed his phone and turned to her. Makina, I need you to listen carefully. She nodded, trembling. Marcus Brennan didn't come here by accident, Cross said. He came because he's scared. Scared? Makina shook her head. He didn't look scared. He looked confident. That's what he wants you to think, Cross said. But people like him don't show up at doors in the middle of the night unless they're desperate. Makina swallowed hard. Desperate for what? To control the narrative, Cross said. To intimidate you before your memory fully returns. Her chest tightened. My memory is already returning. Pieces anyway. He knows that, Cross said. That's why he's here. That's why he sent the video. He's trying to destabilize you before you can speak. Makina sank onto the couch. What if I just stayed quiet? What if I never said anything? Cross knelt in front of her. Do you really think silence will save you? She looked at him, tears in her eyes. It saved me before. No, it didn't, Cross said gently. It buried you. It made you invisible. It let them win. Her throat burned. But I'm still alive. Barely, Cross said. You've spent your whole life being erased. By the system. By the Huangs. By people who wanted you to disappear. His voice softened. But you're still here. And that terrifies them. Makina wiped her face. I don't feel terrifying. I feel broken. You're not broken, Cross said. You're the only thing standing between the truth and the lie that destroyed my father's legacy. She looked at him, her breath shaky. What if my memory isn't enough? It will be, Cross said, because you're not alone this time. I'm with you. His certainty made her chest ache. For so long no one believed her, no one protected her. But here was someone willing to fight. Cross's phone vibrated again. He pulled it out, glancing at the screen. His expression changed. What? Makina asked. Cross's jaw clenched. I need to make a call. Now? Makina whispered. Why? Because someone just triggered another alert, Cross said. And this one is different. He stood and walked to the window, dialing a number. The call rang. Once. Twice. A voice answered. Low. Cautious. Cross? Tell me you didn't authorize access, Cross said sharply. A pause. Access to what? Floor 35, Cross said. Someone tried to override the penthouse lock. Another pause. Longer this. Time. That's not possible, the voice said. Only 3 people have that clearance. I know, Cross said, and I'm one of them. Silence. Are you saying someone used my credentials? The voice asked. I'm saying someone got in, Cross said. And it wasn't me. Makina watched him, her heart pounding. Cross ended the call and turned to her. Someone cloned security credentials. What does that mean? Makina asked. It means they've been planning this for a while, Cross said. They knew I'd bring you here. They prepared for it. Her stomach twisted. How did they know? Cross's expression darkened. Because someone close to me told them. Makina felt her breath catch. You think someone you trust is working with Eugen? I don't know yet, Cross said, but I'm going to find out. Before she could respond, his phone buzzed again. Cross looked at the screen. His face went pale. "No," he whispered. McKenna stood. "What is it?" Cross's voice was tight. "McKenna, someone accessed your old adoption records." Her heart stopped. "What?" "Government-level clearance," Cross said. "Someone with access to sealed files." Her hands went numb. "Why would they do that?" Cross's jaw clenched. "Because they're looking for leverage, weaknesses, anything they can use to discredit you." McKenna's breath came faster. "What did they find?" Cross scrolled through the message. His expression turned grim. "Tell me," McKenna whispered. Cross looked at her, his voice barely audible. "Your file was deleted." Her chest tightened. "Deleted?" "All of it," Cross said. "Your childhood, your mother's information, your identity." McKenna stumbled back. "That's not possible." "It is," Cross said, "and it means they're preparing to erase you completely." Her knees buckled. Cross caught her, holding her steady. "Why?" she whispered. "Why go through all this?" Cross's voice was quiet, deadly. "Because your memory is the only proof that Marcus Brennan killed my father. And without your identity, your testimony means nothing." McKenna's breath shook. "So they're destroying who I am?" "Yes," Cross said. Tears spilled down her cheeks. "I don't even know who I am anymore." Cross gripped her shoulders. "You're a survivor. You're a witness. And you're the one person who can bring justice." His voice was firm, unwavering. "Don't let them take that from you." McKenna looked at him through blurred vision. "What if I can't do this?" "You can," Cross said, "and I'll be with you every step." His phone buzzed again. Cross glanced at it, his face drained of color. "What now?" McKenna whispered. Cross's voice was tight. "Someone just sent me another message." He showed her the screen, a photo of her mother's grave, and standing beside it, smiling at the camera, was Marcus Brennan. Beneath the photo, a single sentence. "She's next." McKenna's breath stopped. Cross's expression turned murderous. "That's it," he said quietly. "He just declared war." McKenna looked at him, trembling. "What do we do?" Cross's voice was cold. "Final. We end this. Tonight." But before he could explain, the lights in the penthouse flickered. Once. Twice. Then they went out completely. Darkness swallowed them. McKenna grabbed Cross's arm. "What's happening?" Cross's voice was steady. Calm. "Someone cut the power." Her heart pounded. "From where?" "Inside the building," Cross said. Emergency lights kicked in. Red. Dim. And from somewhere down the hall they heard it. Footsteps. Slow. Deliberate. Getting closer. Cross pulled McKenna behind him. "Stay quiet," he whispered. The footsteps stopped. Right outside the penthouse door, a shadow appeared in the crack beneath the door. Someone was standing there, waiting, and then a voice spoke. Cold. Familiar. Marcus Brennan's voice. "Open the door, Cross. We need to talk." "Open the door?" Cross's voice was ice. "Not a chance." Eugene's voice came through the door, calm, almost amused. "I'm not here to hurt anyone. I just want to talk." "You've said enough," Cross shot back. McKenna pressed herself against the wall, her heart hammering. 5 minutes, Eugene said. "That's all I'm asking." "Go to hell," Cross said. A pause, then Eugene's voice turned colder. "I have something you'll want to see." Cross didn't move. "I don't want anything from you." "Not even proof of what really happened that night?" Eugene asked. McKenna's breath caught. Cross's jaw clenched. "You're lying." "Am I?" Eugene said. "Open the door and find out." Cross stood there, torn. McKenna could see it on his face. The war between rage and curiosity. "Don't," McKenna whispered. "It's a trap." "I know," Cross said quietly, but his hand moved toward the door anyway. "Cross, please." He raised a hand, silencing her. Then he checked the security monitor. Eugene stood alone. No guards, no weapons visible. Cross unlocked one bolt, then another. He opened the door, just a crack. Eugene stood in the hallway, hands raised. See? No tricks. Cross's voice was deadly. You have 2 minutes. Talk. Eugene smiled. May I come in? No. Eugene shrugged. Fair enough. He reached into his coat. Cross tensed, but Eugene only pulled out a tablet. He held it up, showing the screen. This, Eugene said, is a copy of McKenna's original adoption file. McKenna's heart stopped. Impossible, Cross said. That file was deleted. Deleted from the government database, yes, Eugene said. But I made a copy years ago, just in case. Cross's eyes narrowed. Why? Eugene's smile faded. Because I knew this day would come. The day the little witness woke up. McKenna felt cold all over. What's in the file? Cross demanded. Eugene tapped the screen. Everything. Her mother's real name, her father's identity, her original birth certificate. McKenna stepped forward. My father? Eugene's eyes locked on hers. You didn't know? Her breath shook. My mother never told me. Of course she didn't, Eugene said, because your father was a very dangerous man. Cross's voice was sharp. Who was he? Eugene's expression darkened. A government official, high-ranking, powerful, and very much alive. McKenna's legs felt weak. That's not possible. My mother said he was dead. She lied, Eugene said, to protect you. Tears burned McKenna's eyes. Why would she do that? Because your father, Eugene said slowly, is the man who ordered my father's death. The world tilted. Cross grabbed McKenna's arm, steadying her. You're lying, Cross said. Am I? Eugene turned the tablet toward them. A document appeared, official, stamped, sealed. McKenna's mother's name, her own birth certificate, and a father's name she'd never seen before. Vincent Cordell. McKenna's breath stopped. Who is that? She whispered. Eugene's voice was quiet. The Minister of Justice. Cross's face went pale. McKenna shook her head. No, that's not possible. It is, Eugene said, and it's why your mother ran, why she changed her name, why she hid you. McKenna felt her chest collapse. If he's my father, why didn't he protect me? Eugene's expression was grim. Because you were a mistake, a scandal waiting to happen, and powerful men don't keep mistakes. Tears spilled down her cheeks. How many people have been erased because they were inconvenient? How many lives were rewritten to protect the powerful? Cross stepped forward. Why are you telling us this? Eugene pocketed the tablet. Because I want you to understand something. Your father didn't die by accident, Cross. He was murdered by someone with the power to bury the truth. Vincent Cordell, Cross said. Eugene nodded. And I was just the tool he used. McKenna's voice broke. You killed Cross's father for him? Eugene's eyes softened, almost regretful. I didn't have a choice. Everyone has a choice, Cross said coldly. Not when your family's life is threatened, Eugene said. Vincent Cordell didn't ask. He commanded. And people who refuse him disappear. Cross's fists clenched. So you're a coward and a murderer. Eugene didn't deny it. Why confess now? Cross asked. Eugene looked at McKenna. Because I'm tired of running, tired of hiding, and tired of watching innocent people pay for his crimes. McKenna's breath trembled. What do you want from me? Nothing, Eugene said. I'm giving you a choice. What choice? Cross demanded. Eugene's voice was quiet. Testify against him. Use what you remember. Expose the truth. And I'll help you. Cross laughed bitterly. You think we'd trust you? No, Eugene said. But you don't have anyone else. The hallway fell silent. McKenna looked at Cross, then at Eugene. If I testify, McKenna whispered, He'll kill me. Yes, Eugen said. He will try. Then why would I do it? Eugen's expression was serious. Because if you don't, he'll kill you anyway. At least this way, you take him down with you. McKenna's hand shook. Cross pulled her back. We're done here. Eugen nodded. I understand. But think about it. He turned to leave. Wait, McKenna said. Eugen stopped. Why did you delete my file? She asked. If you wanted to help, why erase me? Eugen's expression turned grim. I didn't delete it. Cross stiffened. Then who did? Eugen's voice was quiet. Vincent Cordell. Your father. He's cleaning up loose ends. McKenna's breath stopped. And that means, Eugen said, his voice dropping, he's preparing to strike. Before anyone could respond, Cross's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, his face drained of color. What? McKenna whispered. Cross showed her the screen. A news alert. Breaking. Government announces investigation into false witness testimony in decade-old CEO murder case. McKenna's heart stopped. What does that mean? She whispered. Cross's voice was tight. It means your father just declared you a liar, before you could even speak. Eugen's expression was grim. He's faster than I thought. McKenna felt her world collapsing. What do we do? Cross's jaw clenched. We fight back. But before he could explain, another alert came through. Cross's hands shook as he read it. No, he whispered. McKenna grabbed his arm. What is it? Cross's voice was barely audible. They just issued a warrant. For who? McKenna asked. Cross looked at her, his eyes filled with rage and fear. For you. A warrant? For me? McKenna's voice cracked. Her hands trembled as she stared at Cross's phone. On what charges? Cross demanded, still looking at the screen. Eugen's expression was grim. Obstruction of justice, false testimony, conspiracy. McKenna felt her chest tighten. But I haven't testified yet. I haven't said anything. It doesn't matter, Eugen said. Vincent Cordell is building a case against you before you can build one against him. Cross's jaw clenched. He's rewriting the narrative. Exactly, Eugen said. By the time you speak, no one will believe you. McKenna backed away, shaking her head. This can't be happening. Cross grabbed her arm gently. McKenna, look at me. She looked up, tears streaming down her face. We're not going to let them take you, Cross said firmly. How? She whispered. They have the power, the media, the law. I know, Cross said, but I have something they don't. What? His voice was steady. A plan. He turned to Eugen. Leave, now. Eugen nodded. Be careful, Cross. He's watching everything. I know, Cross said coldly. Eugen disappeared down the hallway. Cross shut the door and locked every bolt. Then he turned to McKenna. Come with me. Where? She asked. Somewhere safe, Cross said. He led her down a narrow hallway she hadn't noticed before. The walls were plain, no decoration, no windows. At the end of the hall, Cross pressed a hidden panel. A door slid open. McKenna's breath caught. Behind the door was a small room, steel walls, reinforced, a bed, supplies, a monitor showing security feeds. What is this? McKenna whispered. Cross stepped inside. A safe room. She followed slowly, looking around. You built this? Years ago, Cross said. McKenna touched the steel wall. Why? Cross's voice was quiet. Because I knew finding you might bring danger. Her heart stopped. You built this? For me? Cross nodded. I didn't know if you were alive. I didn't know if I'd ever find you. But I prepared anyway. Tears filled her eyes. You planned for someone you didn't even know existed? I knew you existed, Cross said softly. I just didn't know where. McKenna's chest ached. No one had ever cared about her like this. No one had ever prepared for her, protected her. This room is completely off-grid, Cross explained. Soundproof, no windows, separate power supply. Even if they breach the penthouse, they can't reach you here. McKenna looked at him. How long have you been planning this? 10 years, Cross said. Her breath shook. 10 years? He nodded. Since the day I realized the little witness might still be out there. McKenna wiped her face. Why go through all this trouble? Cross stepped closer. Because my father's last words were about protecting you, and I won't fail him. His voice was firm, certain. McKenna looked around the room again. The bed, the supplies, the careful planning. Someone cared. Someone fought for her when she couldn't fight for herself. What happens now? She whispered. Cross's expression hardened. Now, we expose Vincent Cordell before he can destroy you. How? McKenna asked. He controls everything. Not everything, Cross said. He doesn't control the truth. And he doesn't control us. McKenna wanted to believe him, but fear clawed at her chest. If we fight him, she said quietly, he'll kill us both. Maybe, Cross said, but at least we'll die telling the truth. His words settled into her like a weight. She looked at him. Really looked at him. He wasn't doing this for revenge. He wasn't doing this for justice. He was doing it because someone needed to. And that someone was her. Before she could respond, the lights in the safe room flickered. McKenna's heart jumped. What's happening? Cross moved to the monitor. His fingers flew across the screen. No, he whispered. What? McKenna stepped beside him. The security feed showed something impossible. The main power grid was shutting down, floor by floor, starting from the bottom, moving up. Cross's jaw clenched. Someone just hacked my building's security grid. McKenna's breath stopped. How is that possible? It's not, Cross said, unless they have access to the mainframe. Who has that kind of access? McKenna asked. Cross's voice was tight. Only 2 people. Me and my head of security. McKenna's stomach twisted. You think you're head of security? I don't know, Cross interrupted. But someone is inside the system, and they're shutting everything down. The monitor showed the power moving closer. Floor 30. Floor 32. Floor 35. They're coming for us, McKenna whispered. Cross's hands moved fast across the controls. I'm locking down the safe room. Once it's sealed, nothing gets in. What about you? McKenna asked. I'll be fine, Cross said. No, McKenna grabbed his arm. Don't lock me in here alone. Cross looked at her. McKenna, if they reach this floor, then we face them together, she said firmly. His expression softened. You don't have to do this. Yes, I do, McKenna said. Because you've been fighting for me for 10 years. Now it's my turn. Cross stared at her, then he nodded. Together, he said. The power hit their floor. The lights went out. Emergency red lights kicked in, and then the monitor showed something that made Cross's face drain of color. What? McKenna whispered. Cross pointed to the screen. A figure stood in the penthouse, right outside the safe room hallway, tall, still, watching the camera. How did they get in? McKenna's voice shook. I don't know, Cross said. The figure moved closer, down the hallway, toward the hidden door. Cross pulled McKenna back. We need to seal the room. Now. He pressed a button. Steel doors began to slide shut, but before they closed completely, the figure appeared, standing right outside. McKenna's breath stopped. The figure reached up slowly and pulled back their hood. McKenna's heart stopped, because she recognized the face. It was someone she trusted, someone from her past, someone who should be dead, her mother. Mom? The word came out broken, shattered. McKenna stared at the woman standing outside the safe room, the face she'd mourned for years, the face she thought she'd never see again. "No," McKenna whispered. "This isn't real." The woman smiled, soft, familiar. "Hello, my darling." McKenna's legs gave out. Cross caught her, holding her upright. "This is a trick," Cross said sharply. "She's dead." The woman's eyes stayed on McKenna. "I know what you're thinking, and I don't blame you." McKenna's breath came in gasps. "You died. The hospital said, they said your heart." "I know what they said," the woman interrupted gently, "but I'm here. I'm alive." Tears streamed down McKenna's face. "How?" "Because I had to disappear," her mother said, "to protect you." Cross stepped forward. "Prove it. Prove you're really her mother." The woman looked at him. "You must be Dominic Cross. You have your father's eyes." Cross's jaw tightened. "Answer the question." The woman turned back to McKenna. "When you were 5, you fell from a swing, broke your wrist. You cried for hours, but you didn't want the doctor to touch you. So I held you and sang until you fell asleep." McKenna's chest cracked open. "The lullaby. About the moon." Her mother nodded. "You still remember." McKenna's hands shook. "Why would you fake your death? Why let me think you were gone?" Her mother's expression turned pained. "Because staying alive meant you'd be in danger. If they knew I survived, they'd use you to get to me." "Who?" Cross demanded. "Who would use her?" The woman's voice dropped. "Vincent Cordell, her father." McKenna felt the room spin. "You knew? You knew he was my father?" "Yes," her mother whispered. "And I've spent every day since trying to keep you away from him." McKenna backed away. "You lied to me, my whole life." "I protected you," her mother said firmly. "There's a difference." "No, there isn't," McKenna said, her voice breaking. "You let me grow up thinking I was nobody, that I came from nothing. You came from me," her mother said, "and that was enough." Cross interrupted. "How did you get in here?" The woman looked at him. "I've been watching, waiting, and when I saw they were coming for her tonight, I had no choice." "Who's coming?" Cross asked. "Vincent Cordell's men," she said. "They're already in the building." Cross's face hardened. He pulled up the security feed on his phone. His expression changed. "She's right," he said quietly. McKenna looked at the screen. Multiple figures moved through the building, floor by floor, heading up. "How many?" Cross asked. 6, McKenna's mother said. "Maybe more." Cross's jaw clenched. "They disabled the cameras. I can't see all of them." "That's the point," her mother said. "They don't want you to know where they are." McKenna's pulse hammered. "What do they want?" Her mother's voice was quiet. "To silence you. Permanently." McKenna felt her chest tighten. "Then we need to leave. Now." "We can't," Cross said. "They're blocking the exits." McKenna looked at him. "Then what do we do?" Cross's expression was grim. "We fight." Her mother stepped forward. "You can't fight them all. Not like this." "Then what do you suggest?" Cross asked coldly. "The safe room," her mother said. "Lock McKenna inside. Seal it. They can't breach it." "No," McKenna said immediately. "I'm not hiding while you fight." "McKenna," her mother started. "No," McKenna said firmly. "I've spent my whole life hiding, running, being erased. I'm done." Cross looked at her. "This isn't bravery. This is suicide." "Maybe," McKenna said, "but at least I'll be standing." How many people spend their lives running because they think they're not strong enough to fight? How many never realize their power until it's too late? Cross's expression softened. "You don't have to do this." "Yes, I do," McKenna said, "because if I don't, they win." Her mother's eyes filled with tears. "I didn't survive all these years just to watch you die." "Then help us," McKenna said. "Stop hiding and help us fight." Her mother hesitated. Then she nodded. "All right," she said. "But you need to understand something. What? McKenna asked. Her mother's voice was steady. If we do this, there's no going back. Vincent Cordell will hunt us for the rest of our lives. He's already hunting us, Cross said. True, her mother said. But once you expose him, it becomes personal. And personal means he won't stop until we're all dead. McKenna swallowed hard. Then we make sure he goes down first. Cross pulled up the security feed again. The figures were closer. Floor 38, floor 39. They're almost here, he said. Her mother moved to the monitor. How many exits does this floor have? 3, Cross said. Front door, service elevator, emergency stairs. They'll cover all of them, her mother said. I know, Cross replied. A red dot appeared on the map, then another, 6 total, surrounding the penthouse. McKenna's breath came faster. They're here. Cross's voice was calm, controlled. McKenna, if anything goes wrong, you lock yourself in the safe room. You don't come out until I say so. Cross, promise me, he said. McKenna looked at him, at the determination in his eyes, the fear he was trying to hide. I promise, she whispered. Footsteps echoed down the hallway, slow, deliberate, getting closer. Cross moved to the door, his body tense. McKenna's mother stood beside him, and McKenna stayed back, her heart pounding. The footsteps stopped. Right outside the door. Silence. Then a voice spoke, cold, familiar. McKenna, come out. We just want to talk. McKenna's breath stopped, because she recognized that voice. It wasn't one of Vincent Cordell's men. It was someone else, someone she thought she could trust. Cross's expression turned murderous. You, he whispered. The door handle turned, the lock clicked, and the door swung open. A figure stepped inside. McKenna's heart stopped, because standing in the doorway, smiling calmly, was someone who shouldn't be there, someone who'd been helping them. Marcus Brennan. Hello again, he said softly. Did you really think I came here to help you? Cross lunged forward, but Eugen wasn't alone. 3 men stepped out from the shadows behind him, armed, ready. Eugen's smile widened. It's over, Cross. Let her go. McKenna's mother moved in front of her. You'll have to go through me first. Eugen's expression didn't change. If you insist. He raised his hand, and one of the men raised a gun, aimed directly at McKenna's mother. McKenna screamed, No! But before anyone could move, a gunshot echoed through the penthouse. The gunshot was deafening. McKenna screamed, eyes squeezed shut, waiting for pain. But it didn't come. She opened her eyes. Her mother stood frozen, unharmed. The armed man's gun clattered to the floor. He collapsed, clutching his shoulder. Blood seeped through his fingers. Everyone spun around. Standing in the doorway behind Eugen was another figure, holding a gun. Tristan Ashford. McKenna's breath caught. Tristan Ashford? He stepped forward, the gun still raised. His hands trembled, but his eyes were steady. Nobody moves, he said. Eugen's expression shifted. Surprise, then anger. What are you doing here? Stopping you, Tristan Ashford said. Cross moved fast, grabbing the fallen gun before anyone else could reach it. Now 2 guns were pointed at Eugen and his men. Drop your weapons, Cross ordered. The 2 remaining armed men hesitated. Eugen raised a hand. Do it, he said quietly. They lowered their guns. Cross kicked them aside. On the floor, all of you. Eugen's men complied, but Eugen stayed standing. You're making a mistake, Eugen said calmly. The only mistake, Tristan Ashford said, was trusting you. McKenna stared at her ex-husband. What are you doing here? Tristan Ashford's voice was tight. I came to warn you. Warn me? McKenna whispered. About what? About him, Tristan Ashford said, nodding toward Eugen. And about what my family did. Cross's voice was sharp. Talk. Now. Tristan Ashford swallowed hard. 2 nights ago, someone came to our house. Late. My mother spoke with him privately. McKenna's chest tightened. Who? Marcus Brennan, Tristan Ashford said. Eugene's expression didn't change. What did he want? Cross demanded. Tristan Ashford looked at McKenna. He asked about you. About what you remembered. About whether you'd ever mentioned the night of the warehouse fire. McKenna's breath shook. What did your mother say? Tristan Ashford's voice cracked. She told him you were harmless. That you knew nothing. That you'd never spoken about that night. She lied, McKenna whispered. She protected herself, Tristan Ashford said bitterly. Like she always does. Cross stepped closer. What else did he say? Tristan Ashford's hands tightened on the gun. He said if McKenna's memory started coming back, he'd handle it personally. McKenna felt cold all over. Handle it how? Tristan Ashford met her eyes. By making sure you never spoke. The room fell silent. McKenna's mother moved closer to her daughter. And you came here to help her? I came because I couldn't live with myself if I didn't, Tristan Ashford said. McKenna stared at him. You threw me out. You stood there and watched them destroy me. I know, Tristan Ashford whispered, and I'll regret it for the rest of my life. Regret doesn't change what you did, Cross said coldly. I know, Tristan Ashford said again. But maybe this will. He turned to Eugene. Tell them the truth. Eugene's expression was calm. Too calm. About what? About the second witness, Tristan Ashford said. McKenna's heart stopped. Cross's eyes sharpened. What second witness? Tristan Ashford's voice was steady. Eugene told my mother that McKenna wasn't the only child there that night. McKenna's breath caught. What? There was another witness, Tristan Ashford continued. Another child. Someone McKenna's mother tried to protect. McKenna looked at her mother. Is that true? Her mother's face was pale. Yes. Who? Cross demanded. Her mother's voice was barely audible. Your brother. The words hit like a bomb. Cross stumbled back. What? Your younger brother, McKenna's mother said. He was there. With us. That night. Cross's voice shook. I don't have a brother. You did, she said quietly, until he disappeared. Cross's face drained of color. My father never mentioned because he was trying to protect him, she interrupted. Just like I was trying to protect McKenna. McKenna felt the room spin. There was another child there? Her mother nodded. You were both so young. Too young to understand what you saw. Where is he now? Cross whispered. Her mother's eyes filled with tears. I don't know. After that night he vanished. Your father sent him away. To keep him safe. Cross's hands shook. From who? From Vincent Cordell, she said, and from everyone else who wanted to bury the truth. Eugene finally spoke. His voice was cold. You should have stayed buried. Why? McKenna asked. Why kill Cross's father? What did he know? Eugene's smile was bitter. He knew everything. About the corruption. The bribes, the deals. And he was going to expose it all? So Vincent Cordell had him killed, Cross said. Yes, Eugene said, and I was the one who carried it out. McKenna's breath stopped. Why are you admitting this now? Because it doesn't matter anymore, Eugene said. Vincent Cordell is more powerful than ever, and no one will believe 2 orphans and a dead man's son. Cross's voice was deadly. We'll see about that. Eugene laughed. You think you can expose him? He controls the courts, the media, the police. We'll find a way, McKenna said. There is no way, Eugene said. The moment you try to speak, he'll destroy you. Just like he destroyed your mother. Just like he'll destroy everyone you love. McKenna's mother stepped forward. Then we go public. We tell the world. The world won't listen, Eugene said. They never do. Tristan Ashford's voice cut through. Maybe they will if they have proof. Everyone turned to him. What proof? Cross asked. Tristan Ashford reached into his coat. He pulled out a USB drive. This, he said, security footage from the night of the fire, from a camera no one knew existed. McKenna's heart pounded. Where did you get that? My uncle, Tristan Ashford said. He kept it. As insurance. Cross's eyes widened. Your uncle was there? Tristan Ashford nodded slowly. He was Vincent Cordell's right hand. He filmed everything. Eugene's expression finally cracked. That footage was destroyed. Not all of it, Tristan Ashford said. He held up the USB drive. This has everything. The murder. The cover-up. Vincent Cordell giving the orders. McKenna's breath shook. This could end him. Yes, Tristan Ashford said. But there's a problem. Cross's jaw clenched. What problem? Tristan Ashford's voice dropped. The footage also shows something else. Something no one was supposed to see. What? McKenna whispered. Tristan Ashford looked at her, his expression pained. It shows who the second witness really was. McKenna's heart stopped. Who? Cross demanded. Tristan Ashford's hands trembled as he held the USB drive. Someone who's been hiding in plain sight this whole time. He pressed play on a nearby laptop. The screen flickered. Grainy footage appeared. A warehouse. Smoke. Fire. 2 children huddled in the corner. One was McKenna. Small. Terrified. The other was a boy. Younger. Crying. The camera zoomed in, and McKenna's breath stopped, because she recognized the boy's face. It was someone she knew. Someone she'd seen recently. Someone who'd been close to her this whole time. Cross stared at the screen, his face pale. No, he whispered. That's not possible. Tristan Ashford's voice was quiet. The second witness, he said, wasn't your brother. McKenna's heart pounded. Then who is it? She whispered. The boy on the screen turned toward the camera, and Tristan Ashford said the name that shattered everything. It's me. You? McKenna's voice broke. She stared at Tristan Ashford, her mind refusing to accept what she'd just heard. You were there? She whispered. That night? Tristan Ashford nodded slowly. His eyes were filled with pain. Yes. Cross's expression was murderous. You lied this entire time. I didn't remember, Tristan Ashford said quickly. Not until recently. Not until my mother told me the truth. McKenna backed away, shaking her head. No, this doesn't make sense. Why would you be at that warehouse? Tristan Ashford's voice was quiet. Because my family was involved. The words hit like a sledgehammer. Cross stepped forward. Involved how? Tristan Ashford swallowed hard. My uncle, the one I mentioned, he worked for Vincent Cordell. He was there that night, and he brought me with him. McKenna felt sick. You saw everything? I saw enough, Tristan Ashford said. I saw the fire. I saw your mother trying to shield you. I saw Cross's father. His voice broke. I saw him die. Silence filled the room. McKenna's mother stepped closer. You were just a child. You couldn't have stopped it. But I should have said something, Tristan Ashford whispered. I should have told someone. You were scared, she said gently. Just like McKenna. Tristan Ashford looked at McKenna. I didn't recognize you when we met. I didn't remember your face. I just felt drawn to you, like I'd known you before. McKenna's chest ached. So that's why you married me? Because of some buried memory? No, Tristan Ashford said firmly. I married you because I loved you. The memory came later. When? Cross demanded. 2 weeks ago, Tristan Ashford said. When my mother sat me down and told me the truth. She said I was there that night, that I witnessed a murder, and that the little girl I saw was you. Makeena's hands trembled. Why didn't you tell me? Because I was terrified, Tristan Ashford said. My family threatened me. They said if I spoke, they'd destroy both of us. So you threw me out instead, Makeena said bitterly. Tristan Ashford's eyes filled with tears. I thought I was protecting you. I thought if you were gone, they'd leave you alone. But they didn't, Cross said coldly. No, Tristan Ashford whispered. They didn't. Makeena's mother spoke quietly. Your mother tried to protect both of you. That's why the Huang family was pressured to get rid of Makeena. Tristan Ashford nodded. They were afraid the second witness would come looking for her, and they were right. But you didn't come looking, Makeena said. You forgot. Until now, Tristan Ashford said. Cross's jaw clenched. Why reveal this now? Why risk everything? Tristan Ashford looked at him. Because Vincent Cordell knows I remember, and he's coming for me too. Makeena's breath caught. How do you know? Tristan Ashford pulled out his phone. Because he sent me this. He showed them the screen. A message, simple, chilling. The second witness will be silenced tonight. Makeena's heart stopped. Cross grabbed the phone. When did you get this? An hour ago, Tristan Ashford said. That's why I came, to warn you. Yu Jin, still on the floor, laughed bitterly. You're all fools. You think warning each other will save you? Cross pointed the gun at him. Shut up. Yu Jin's smile faded. Vincent Cordell doesn't make empty threats. If he says you'll be silenced, you will be. Makeena's mother moved protectively in front of her daughter. Then we leave, all of us, right now. We can't, Cross said. They're watching the exits. Then we fight, Tristan Ashford said. With what? Yu Jin scoffed. 2 guns and hope? Tristan Ashford held up the USB drive again. With the truth. Cross stared at it. That footage, it really shows everything? Everything, Tristan Ashford confirmed. Vincent Cordell giving the order. Yu Jin carrying it out. The cover-up, all of it. Makeena's voice was shaky. Then we release it, right now, to the media, to everyone. It won't be enough, Yu Jin said. He'll discredit it. Call it fake, manipulated. Not if we have witnesses to back it up, Cross said, looking at Makeena and Tristan Ashford. Tristan Ashford nodded. I'll testify. I'll tell them everything I saw. Makeena swallowed hard. So will I. How many people stay silent because they think no one will believe them? How many truths are buried because speaking feels impossible? Cross's expression softened. You don't have to do this. Yes, I do, Makeena said. We both do. Because if we don't, this never ends. Tristan Ashford stepped beside her. Together. Makeena looked at him. The man who threw her away. The man who'd been carrying the same trauma she had. Together, she whispered. Cross moved to the laptop. We upload this now. Every news outlet, every social media platform. We flood the internet before he can stop us. Do it, Makeena's mother said. Cross's fingers flew across the keyboard. But before he could press upload, Tristan Ashford's phone buzzed. He glanced at it. His face went pale. What? Makeena asked. Tristan Ashford's voice was barely audible. It's from my uncle. What does it say? Cross demanded. Tristan Ashford read the message aloud, his hands shaking. We found the second witness, and we're coming for both of you. Makeena's breath stopped. They know you're here, Yu Jin said quietly. They've known the whole time. Cross's jaw clenched. How many are coming? Tristan Ashford scrolled through the message. He doesn't say, but another message came through. Tristan Ashford's hands trembled as he read it. What? Makeena whispered. Tristan Ashford looked at her, fear in his eyes. They're not just coming for us. Then who? Cross asked. Tristan Ashford's voice broke. They're coming for your mother too. McKenna's mother stepped back, her face pale. Why? McKenna whispered. What does she have that they want? Tristan Ashford showed them the final line of the message. She has the evidence your father hid, and if she doesn't give it up, everyone in that room dies tonight. McKenna turned to her mother. What evidence? What did you hide? Her mother's eyes filled with tears. Something I should have given to the police years ago. What is it? Cross demanded. Her mother reached into her coat. She pulled out a small envelope. Sealed. Worn. This, she whispered. Your father gave it to me the night he died. He said if anything happened to him, I had to keep it safe. Cross's breath caught. What's inside? Her mother's voice was quiet. Proof that Vincent Cordell ordered the murder. In his own handwriting. The room went silent. Cross stared at the envelope. Why didn't you come forward? Because he threatened to kill McKenna if I did, she said, tears streaming down her face. So I stayed silent. I disappeared. I let everyone think I was dead. McKenna's chest ached. Mom, I'm sorry, her mother whispered. I should have been braver. Before anyone could respond, the lights went out. Completely. No emergency backup, total darkness. Cross's voice cut through. Everyone stay still. But it was too late. Footsteps echoed through the penthouse. Multiple. Fast. Surrounding them. And then a voice spoke from the darkness. Cold. Commanding. Familiar. Drop your weapons. You're surrounded. The lights flickered back on, and standing in the doorway, surrounded by armed men, was a tall figure in an expensive suit. McKenna's breath stopped, because she recognized him. From the photo in her file, from the memories buried in her mind, Vincent Cordell, her father. He looked directly at her and smiled. Hello, daughter. It's time we had a talk. Father? The word felt like poison on McKenna's tongue. Vincent Cordell stepped into the penthouse, his expensive shoes clicking against the marble floor. 6 armed men followed behind him, fanning out across the room. Professional. Precise. Deadly. Cross moved in front of McKenna. Get out. Vincent Cordell smiled. Is that any way to greet a guest? You're not a guest, Cross said. You're a murderer. Vincent Cordell's expression didn't change. Such harsh words. And here I thought we could be civil. Civil? McKenna's mother stepped forward, her voice shaking with rage. You killed an innocent man. You destroyed families. You silenced children. Vincent Cordell looked at her. Ah, the maid who wouldn't stay dead. I must say I'm impressed. Don't talk to her, McKenna said, her voice stronger than she felt. Vincent Cordell's eyes locked on his daughter. There she is, the little witness who's been causing so much trouble. McKenna's hands clenched. I'm not your daughter. Biologically, you are, Vincent Cordell said. Though I never claimed you. A mistake in hindsight. Children have a way of becoming problematic. Cross's gun was still in his hand, but Vincent Cordell's men had theirs trained on everyone in the room. One wrong move and they'd all die. What do you want? Cross demanded. Vincent Cordell walked slowly toward the center of the room. Calm. Controlled. Like he owned the place. I want what your father hid, he said, looking at McKenna's mother. The evidence. The letter. Whatever proof he thought would bring me down. McKenna's mother clutched the envelope tighter. You'll never get it. Vincent Cordell sighed. I was hoping you'd say that. He snapped his fingers. One of his men grabbed Tristan Ashford, pressing a gun to his head. Tristan Ashford gasped. Wait. Give me the envelope, Vincent Cordell said calmly, or I kill him. Then I kill Cross. Then I kill you. And I save my dear daughter for last. McKenna's breath stopped. Her mother's hands trembled. If I give this to you, what's stopping you from killing us anyway? Absolutely nothing, Vincent Cordell said with a smile. But at least you'll die knowing you tried. Cross's voice was tight. Don't give it to him. Cross, McKenna's mother started. Don't, Cross repeated. That evidence is the only leverage we have. Vincent Cordell laughed. Leverage? You think you have leverage? I control the police, the courts, the media. Even if you release that letter, I'll bury it before morning. Not if we upload the footage, Tristan Ashford said, his voice strained. Vincent Cordell's smile faded. What footage? Tristan Ashford nodded toward the USB drive on the table. Security footage from the warehouse, the night you ordered the murder. Vincent Cordell's expression turned cold. That footage was destroyed. Not all of it, Tristan Ashford said. Vincent Cordell's jaw clenched. He looked at one of his men. Get it. The man moved toward the table. Cross raised his gun. Don't. Vincent Cordell raised his hand. Let's not be hasty. If you shoot my man, he shoots Tristan Ashford. Then you're next. Then everyone else dies. Is that what you want? Cross's hand trembled, but he didn't lower the gun. I thought not, Vincent Cordell said. His man grabbed the USB drive. McKenna's heart sank. But then Cross spoke. That's a copy. Vincent Cordell paused. What? The original is already uploaded, Cross said. Cloud storage, set to release automatically if I don't stop it. Vincent Cordell's eyes narrowed. You're bluffing. Try me, Cross said. The room fell silent. Vincent Cordell studied Cross's face, looking for weakness, for hesitation. But Cross's expression was for stone. Finally, Vincent Cordell smiled. You're smarter than your father. My father was brilliant, Cross said. He just trusted the wrong people. Vincent Cordell's smile faded. Your father was a fool. He thought he could expose me and live. He was wrong. Cross's finger tightened on the trigger. Say that again. Cross, don't, McKenna whispered, but the rage in Cross's eyes was burning. Vincent Cordell stepped closer. Your father begged. Did you know that? At the end, he begged for his life. Cross's breath came faster. He said, Please, I have a son, Vincent Cordell continued, and you know what I told him? Cross's hands shook. Vincent Cordell leaned in. Your son will forget you. Cross pulled the trigger, but nothing happened. The gun jammed. Vincent Cordell laughed. Did you really think I'd let you keep a working weapon? He nodded to his men. Two of them grabbed Cross, slamming him to the ground. No! McKenna screamed. She lunged forward, but another guard grabbed her, holding her back. Vincent Cordell walked over to Cross, kneeling beside him. You're brave. I'll give you that. But bravery without power is just stupidity. Cross spat in his face. Vincent Cordell wiped it away calmly. Then he stood. Kill him, he said. No, McKenna screamed. Please, I'll do anything. Vincent Cordell turned to her. Anything? Tears streamed down her face. Yes, just don't kill him. Vincent Cordell studied her. Give me the envelope and your testimony. Recant everything you remember. Say it was a dream, a mistake. McKenna's breath shook. And you'll let him live? I'll let everyone live, Vincent Cordell said. You have my word. Your word means nothing, McKenna's mother said. Perhaps, Vincent Cordell said, but it's all you have. McKenna looked at Cross. Blood dripped from his mouth where they'd hit him. His eyes met hers, and he mouthed two words. Don't do it. McKenna's chest ached. She looked at her mother, at Tristan Ashford, at everyone who'd risked everything for the truth, and then she looked at Vincent Cordell, her father, the man who destroyed everything. "All right," she whispered. Vincent Cordell smiled. "Smart girl." McKenna's mother stepped forward. "McKenna, no, I'll do it," McKenna said. "I'll recant everything. I'll give you the envelope. I'll disappear." Vincent Cordell's smile widened. "I knew you'd see reason." "But first," McKenna said, her voice steady, "I want to know one thing." Vincent Cordell raised an eyebrow. "What?" McKenna looked him in the eyes. "Why didn't you just kill me when I was a child? Why let me live all these years?" Vincent Cordell's expression shifted. For the first time, something flickered in his eyes. Regret? Guilt? "Because," he said quietly, "you're my daughter, and even monsters have limits." McKenna's breath caught. "But now," Vincent Cordell continued, his voice turning cold, "those limits are gone." He raised his hand. The guards raised their guns, and McKenna realized the truth. He was never going to let them live. This was always how it would end. But before anyone could fire, the penthouse door exploded open. Smoke filled the room. Gunfire erupted. McKenna hit the ground, covering her head, shouting, screaming, chaos. And then a voice cut through the noise, loud, commanding. "Police! Nobody move!" McKenna looked up through the smoke. Dozens of officers flooded the penthouse, SWAT gear, weapons drawn. Vincent Cordell's men dropped their guns. But Vincent Cordell himself didn't move. He stood in the center of the room, staring at the lead officer. And then he smiled. "You're too late," he said. The officer stepped forward. "Vincent Cordell, you're under arrest for—" "I know what I'm being arrested for," Vincent Cordell interrupted. "But it won't stick. It never does." The officer hesitated, and that's when McKenna saw it. Vincent Cordell reaching into his coat. "Gun!" someone shouted. But Vincent Cordell didn't pull out a weapon. He pulled out a phone and pressed a button. Somewhere in the distance, an explosion rocked the building. The floor shook. Alarms blared. Vincent Cordell looked at McKenna one last time. "Goodbye, little witness." And then he smiled. "It's time to finish what your mother started."